Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
And this week we're talking about Slenderman and the events that followed that particular internet sensation's rise to prominence amongst tweens, I suppose.
They weren't even tweens. They were 12.
Wow.
Well, in that one specific
yeah.
case, they weren't. But yeah, the phenomenon as a whole, I think, was popular. Yeah, with teens and tweens.
But at first, we do weird news.
Yes.
In a week where both I and Mr. T have become addicted to curling in the Winter Olympics. He never replied.
I've become addicted to curling, but it's something completely different.
I'm not sure I want to know. You know, we like to sit here and talk about some weird stuff we found on the internet. And this can take anywhere from sort of half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how drunk me or Gaz get.
Yeah, and then we like to point this out so people don't get upset if it's their first episode. Yes, it takes us a long time to get through the news, but then we
just
get
so much shit out there.
Yeah, well, there's just so much weird shit out there. We've got so much to say because we're all gobshites.
Yeah, and why send it to each other and laugh at it when we can just laugh at it here?
Yeah, there you go. And I was thinking this week, if this is anyone's first episode, I was thinking that if this podcast was a starship, obviously we've got Science Officer Mike. I was thinking, Ben, you'd be defence, but you might prefer the title like War Officer, possibly.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Yeah, War Officer. And I was thinking, I'm going to be the ship's fucking jester, aren't I?
You're like Ensign Ricky, you got a red shirt on, mate.
I'm the
You're that red shirt who
parrot.
keeps coming back. Not the one that's just manages to fluke his way out of every scenario. You book the trend.
I should have been dead light years ago.
Yeah. You've had parts of you hacked off in every corner of the galaxy. You just keep coming back for more.
I've hacked myself off in every part of the galaxy.
Hey.
Hey! Not quite a pun.
Yeah.
I think the crown's safe. So, do we have some weird news, Science Officer Mike?
We certainly do.
Let's get into it.
Oh wait, that means I'm like Worf because he's going to get beat up all the time.
You're the War Officer.
Yeah, but Worf got beat up all the time. He was.
Yeah, but Worf... Come on, he didn't have the training you've got, Ben. I mean, he wasn't in the TA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the fat guy in the bowels of the ship with the beard. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, visual.
I fixed.
Yeah. Weird news.
Yeah. First one we got. Man who used anglerfish stomach to masturbate ends up in hospital. For anyone who doesn't know what an anglerfish is,
I was going to say, I have questions. What's an anglerfish?
it's a deep sea dweller.
Yeah, it's a really ugly one with teeth.
Is that why he fucked its stomach? Because its face is so disgusting.
And it's got a little sort of antennae with a glowing bulb
Okay.
on the end that flashes. Bioluminescence.
Ah.
He's got his biology hat on now.
Well, no, science officer, it's all science.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did he come across this deep sea creature? Is he a fisherman? He's a fucking pervert, I know that, but is he a pervert?
There's a picture of it.
Oh,
in the
wonderful.
article.
Mike's showing us a picture of the what was it called? An anglerfish?
Yeah, it's.
It looks like if Satan had a mother, her vagina would look like this fish's mouth.
Yeah, I woke up next to worse.
A man who, sorry to cut it, the article says, a man who posted step-by-step updates as he pleasured himself with the stomach of an anglerfish ended up in hospital.
You don't want Facebook updates about that, do you?
Jesus Christ.
No, I don't. Where'd you just check into? And
Oh my life.
Just check if he's lacerated his knob or not.
So, why did he pick the stomach? Is it just something he could, with a hole?
In a series of posts on 2channel, the anonymous masturbator from Japan told users that he works with anglerfish on a regular basis and decided to wank with the fish's stomach out of in, quote, curiosity.
Oh my god.
Oh, please tell me he's not a sushi chef.
No, I'm sorry. There needs to be another word there for when it's perverse curiosity. Curiosity?
Yeah.
Perveriosity? Because that's not just normal curiosity is looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, right?
And going, oh, what do you could use that for? Don't know. Oh well.
Well, maybe he's a fuck ugly human being with zero social skills to speak of. I'm willing to bet that he is.
Well, he's
based on what he's done.
Although launched into a stereotype, he is Japanese, and they do like tentacles.
They do.
You know, a tentacle. It's a squid. Lives in the sea.
Yeah.
There's a connection.
Yeah. Well,
possibility.
He just took the tentacle porn one step further, didn't he?
Oh, hang on a second. I figured out how he's done it.
Ah.
He describes how he'd taken precautions, carefully disinfecting the raw fish organ using salt and ethanol before rubbing it against his penis, which I assume is blurred out.
Fuck me.
The detailed statuses that he posted ended with a photo of him wearing the stomach on his hand as though it were a glove. Accompanying the message was a short caption, quote, "I'm taking off my pants now," end quote.
A spunk-filled glove made of fish
Anglerfish stomach, yeah.
Oh, why put it on Facebook? I mean, maybe it's a
2
thing.
channel. I don't know what 2 channel is. I'm not that down with the kids.
And the effort, I've got no idea. The effort to make it safe with salt and ethanol and removing the actual stomach, you know, like doing some taxidermy. No, that's, you know what I'm trying to say. Doing some butchery.
Dissected it. Unless he's a sushi chef, in which case he might have just done it at work.
The effort that he's gone through with all of that.
That's not curiosity, is it?
Would it be? Yeah, no, would it not be?
That's making a plan, that is.
Yeah, it's easier to just. Oh, I don't know. This is a wild idea.
I mean, imagine
just masturbate normally.
Imagine the conversation at the fish market.
Got any more of them fishy stomachs, mate? Yeah, I'll have 4, please. I've got a day off today.
Getting through them like hotcakes, mate.
I don't know why he only buys the stomachs after. It's a right waste. It's for my dog.
Oh, that couldn't have been it. Oh, at least you didn't do the full racist Sean Connery impression from that Bond film where he just put a bowl wig on and squinted his eyes a bit. And some comical buck teeth is like the most racist impression in the world.
Why is it racist though? Now,
as a disguise, it's a little
no,
stereotypical.
I'm not
isn't
about
it?
him. Not about him being racist, but why is it racist for me to do a really good? And I'm not saying that impression was good, but let's say I could do an excellent Japanese impression. Why is that racist?
If you're doing an excellent one, it's different.
No, what if it's just a really good impression? I'm not going to do it. We're going to upset people. I don't know if we have many Japanese listeners. Very much.
Yeah,
moving on.
Yeah, move on.
You fucked the fish.
Yeah.
You fucked the fish stomach, to be more
Actually,
specific.
I'll let you know that Tokyo is now 3rd in the list of cities.
Oh, of our listeners?
Yeah. So we are big in Japan.
Hey, literally. But that's got to be some English expats living out there, hasn't it? I can't imagine any young Japanese people listening to us 3 blithering gentlemen.
Maybe some Americans out there.
It could be. We've got to be English speakers. I
The-
can't see any Japanese people using us to learn English, is all I'm saying.
Oh, maybe the accent thing. I mean, you know,
Well,
why listen to someone doing received pronunciation and talking at the Queen? That's why most English foreign speakers tend to have a slight American tinge to their accent because they learn it off the telly. They get it off the telly.
And movies.
And movies.
To our
yeah.
Japanese listeners, if there are any, if
It
we
sound
are being racist, then let us know.
We apologise.
That didn't help.
No.
Shall we move on?
Gaz is actually going to commit seppuku now.
With what?
With a shard of can. And then Mike's going to saw through your spine.
Slow and painful and horrible. We Facebook Live it.
Oh, imagine the ratings.
Better than this fish guts.
Better than the man fucking the fish gut.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. That's a real left-handed compliment, isn't it? You committing suicide very slowly and painfully would be more successful, we feel, on the internet than a Japanese man fucking a fish stomach. Wow.
Well, Mike's going to saw your head off because he hasn't got a sword.
Well, we always say this podcast is like therapy. And so, yeah, thanks, guys. That's a real,
Me chopping your head off with a rusty saw is certainly therapy.
for you. Am I upsetting, Mike?
I should do the next one then.
Yeah.
Newport fire crew cut spanner for man's genitals at A&E. It's just in the BBC.
From our Newport.
Newport, Wales.
Newport,
That's
Wales.
where my dad's from. Newport Gwent. Hey. So they cut. Hang on, I don't think I'm understanding this. Cut a spanner from a man's genitals. Oh, he'd put his dick through the.
I don't know what happened because the article isn't loading.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Well, we're
refresh
gonna
it,
have to
boys.
guess how many ways could you fuck a spanner, and I mean the tool a spanner, not like.
Oh, I've got the
We're having
iPad.
technical difficulties.
Again.
Yeah, the laptop's crashed. To see if I can get it on the iPad.
Well, I think I can get the gist of this article based on the headline. I think a man put his penis through the loop of a spanner and it got stuck. Unless he's a total psycho and like an adjustable spanner. He's in control of how tight it went.
Right, I can read you the article if you like.
Okay, go for it.
Firefighters have issued a tongue-in-cheek safety warning after being called to a hospital to free a man who had trapped his genitals in a ring spanner. The crew were called to Royal Gwent Newport Hospital, South Wales, to assist the red-faced individual, and they had to use cutting equipment to remove it. South Wales Fire Service later tweeted, "If you're using tools, make sure you're handling them as the manufacturer recommends." I
don't understand when this happens. Like.
Hang on, can I read you the full tweet from the South Wales Firemen? Crews from Main D and Maupas had to release a steel ring spanner from a man who took tightening nuts to a new level earlier.
Oh man, well, they get the pun crown, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do for the week, don't they?
Oh man.
Well done, South Wales Fire Service. If anyone in the South Wales Fire Service does listen, then if you like, we'll send you a cardboard crown with King of Puns crudely scrawled on it in crayon.
Hey, well, you're a science officer, Mike. Can you explain to me? I get confused about this when this happens to people. When something fits through something, but won't come back out. I always get confused by this. Like, he got his cock in there. Why wouldn't it come back out?
Yeah, my motto is if it goes in, it'll come out.
Well, if it was a little bit flaccid when it went in and it expanded.
Yeah, but
then they just needed to wait till he calmed down.
Or was he using his nuts?
Yeah, stop feeding the Viagra pills, ain't helping.
Over the 6 sexy firemen touching his cock.
But no,
tickling his balls.
Well, it said tightening
You're
his
not
nuts.
helping, officer. They were Welsh. That was Welsh, not Japanese.
It said tightening his nuts. Did he have his nuts in it?
Oh no.
Oh.
Or then was it? Am I completely confused? And then let's say, he wrapped his flaccid genitalia around and then tightened it this way. Do you know what I mean? Like you would.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Until it become something really bad happened. Either way, again, the guy who fucked the fist stomach, the guy who's fucking the spanner. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. People have just been masturbating without
the aid of fish or spanners.
Fish or spanners for millennia, and it's been good enough for them. What's these people trying to get fancy with their wanks? It always ends in fucking tears. If you try and get fancy with your wank, who do you think you are? Why is it just a normal ham shandy good enough for you? You've got to.
I'd also like to apologise for the amount of danger wank news in this week's review news.
If this is your first episode,
it's not usually
the
about
news
danger
is not
wanks.
just solely wank based. It's just whatever comes up.
Sperm alert.
But it's the number one male pastime for all history.
I couldn't agree more. I don't know if that fact's been verified. I think it needs to.
Listen, you are the fact checker.
3 men in the
I reckon it's the women's as well.
Well, yes.
We'd like to
They
think.
say they don't, but
They don't have time, Michael. Like, cleaning and cooking. That's bigging them up.
And running after a family while you're sat on the sofa drinking beer, is that it, Gaz? Watching telly in a dirty vest and
Have
your
you been
pants.
watching me?
I have cameras in most people's houses. How long does it take you to shit, Mike? Fucking hours.
Well, you gotta make sure it's all.
that's it. It's all that roughage.
So, do we have any more weird news from around the world?
Hopefully.
If we can get through the technical difficulties.
Oh my god.
Woman 20 who gouged out her own eyes while high on meth was found outside church holding her eyeballs.
Whoa.
That is rough, innit?
Jesus.
Can I just say
So
that
gouging out your own eyeballs, isn't enough to make you pass out or bleed out.
I really don't like eyes. You know, I'm a
I
first
can't
aider, but I
touch
never
my
do
eyes.
eye exams.
Yeah, there's no pictures.
I know, but I might feel queasy here.
A 20-year-old woman gouged out her own eyes in front of horrified witnesses who tried to stop her outside a church while high on meth.
Oh.
Kaylee Muthart will be blind for life after pulling her eyes from their sockets while hallucinating.
Well, yeah, I suppose it's as good a time as any, isn't it?
Terrified worshippers rushed out of the church in Anderson, South Carolina after hearing her screams, but she fought them off.
How did she fight them off? She's a meth addict.
What did she... Yeah, but she's like junkie strong.
Is that like Junkie Fresh?
What did she gouge?
I want to make a deodorant called Junkie Fresh.
You too can have the smell of the streets.
Yeah, exactly.
Smells like an elderly male yak. Just urinated all over you.
It's the smell of urine and desperation.
Oh man. What did she gouge her eyes out with?
Her hands.
Her fingers.
Yeah.
That's fucking horrific.
I know, mate. It's mental,
Wow.
isn't it?
Now Kaylee's mum wants to warn others about the dangers of methamphetamine. You don't say! For help to fund a service dog for her. What if she sells the dog to buy meth?
I don't know why I found that so funny, but
If clawing your own eyes out is enough to turn you off drugs, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
drugs are so good. That's the problem. People keep going back.
Yeah, that
Oh
is the
man, I
problem.
think she had problems bigger than meth. Because a lot of people take meth and still got their eyes. No teeth! But they've still got their eyes. You know? Wow. That's
I
a
still
horrific
refuse to
story.
believe it.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, I still refuse to believe an entire congregation of churchgoers couldn't stop one meth addict from doing that.
How involved do you get when someone is... I mean, to gouge, I can't even pretend to do it to myself.
No.
Because I can't even touch my eyeball. When other people touch their eyeballs in front of me.
Oh, it creeps me out. Yeah.
So,
Let's move off the eyes.
she was pretty determined.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that was either some bad meth.
Oh, it's a bad meth.
Well,
I'd
it's
say
always-
so, yeah.
But it's always such, that's the thing, it's always such a gamble with drugs because of how vastly different each individual human is, our particular brain chemistry. And you and me can take the same batch and react completely differently to the same batch of something. So that's the gamble you take. If she had the right perfect setup for, I would say, pre-existing mental conditions. Throw some meth on top, and next thing you know, you're outside of church, pulling your fucking eyeballs out. Wow.
Yeah, she heard voices telling her to sacrifice her eyes.
Oh, right.
Sacrifice my
No,
eye.
that's okay.
She's going to wish that she sacrificed her whole self, I think.
Alright, we'll move on.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, that was dark.
Yeah.
Cheers.
But, you know, it's kind of themed towards today's episode.
Well, it got us off the wanking theme, didn't it? Which is good.
Oh, I
Back to
saw
something a bit
this.
more hilarious. China vows to crack down on funeral strippers.
Oh, man, that's just wrong.
The Minister of Culture said
Bloody
it, would,
communism.
said it would target obscene, pornographic and vulgar performances at funerals and weddings.
Oh my god. In China, but I thought China was like a reserved culture, you know? I don't think they'd have strippers at funerals.
I
But
like it. I
How
think you-
scary does the Ministry of Culture sound, though?
It does, doesn't
You
it?
know,
It's
it
made
sounds
1984.
very, yeah, sci-fi kind of. Do you want to say the Ministry of Culture in a Chinese accent? Anybody?
No.
No. Any takers?
The Culture Ministry set up hotlines to offer monetary rewards for those who report funeral misdeeds in 19 cities across China.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Some rural communities in China believe hiring performers can increase attendance at funerals, with high attendance seen as a way of honouring the deceased.
That's perfect. That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
There's a nice sort of
Yeah.
meaning behind it, but perhaps it's a bit little misguided.
No, why
Well,
not?
who
Have
are we
a,
to judge?
why not have a stripper at a funeral?
If that's what you wanted, if it's
Why
in
not?
your will. Oh, hang on, who's choosing this? The dead person or the family?
I presume the
I guess it
family.
was in the will or something, maybe. I don't know, but if it was the dead person's wish, then you've got no choice but to honour it. Well, you have got a
Well,
choice
it's
because
not-
they won't know, will they?
It's not just strippers. They have actors, singers, and comedians.
I don't
Oh
know,
man,
fucking
imagine if
comedian.
you're at a funeral and there's some comedian cracking jokes about you.
Oh man.
Better than Elvis Presley impersonator.
Oh,
We were in the
yeah.
car on the way to the children's festival, me, my missus and her 2 kids, and the kids were making up like who crossed the road jokes, like, why did the frog cross the road? Because it was stuck on a chicken, ha ha ha, making up things.
I'd have gone insane.
And I was like, why did the man cross the road? And everyone's like, I don't know. And I said, because he thought the grass was greener on the other side. And then he got there and realised it wasn't and had an existential crisis which led to a lifelong depression. And there was just a silence in the car and like Leona looked at me and was like, wow, deep. And I'm like, you guys, I'm wasted on you now.
We lap that stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. We love the meaninglessness of existence. Yay.
Because it gets me through the day.
I'm so alone.
Yeah. You'll never leave me, will you, Beer?
No, you'll never cheat.
Well,
I want funeral strippers now.
Funeral strip, you won't be able to appreciate it, you'll be dead. And don't give me that I'll be looking down business,
No, I
know you don't believe it.
No, I just want everyone else to have fun.
Well, fair enough.
I'll tell you what, let's make a deal. Whichever one of us three goes first,
Okay.
right, has strippers, so the other two can enjoy them. That way, there's like a 1 in 3 chance you'll get to see the strippers.
Do you want me to be sat there at your funeral with an unsatisfied, frustrating boner, which is all you get from fucking strippers? You know,
Yeah,
I've never understood the appeal of strippers.
Because it would amuse me.
Strippers are literally dangling themselves in front of you going, you will never fuck me.
Yeah.
And you're like, take the money! The money to not fuck me! It's ridiculous. So, I'm saying I'll be there. I'll take the striptease, of course. But do you really want me at your funeral with a boner? Don't you want me to be
I'd find it
thinking
amusing that we're going to use it.
We'll podcast live, won't we?
I want them dancing on top of my coffin.
Well, fireworks like a
Yeah!
WWE
I want
entrance.
fireworks going off.
I want to bring my coffin with me.
What, dead? There's nothing in the afterlife. Does this mean we're going to build you a pyramid?
Yeah.
I want to be buried like the pharaohs of old.
I'm taking strippers with me when I go.
Oh my god. I hope that's not some obscure threat against a strip club.
Well, if I die first, could you please make sure that my coffin comes down to the Undertaker's theme tune? Because I just think it would be funny to bring everybody down a little bit.
Do you want some
I
monks
don't want-
holding fiery torches?
Yeah, I don't want joviality. Is joviality a word?
Possibly.
Maybe. Well, it is now. I don't want fun times at my funeral, I'm afraid.
Well, at your funeral, not many people might be drinking
What is that?
because there's an alcohol apocalypse.
What?
What the fuck? What?
Evolution making us too sick to drink.
Not
75.
fucking me. It's making the snowflakes of this fucking world too fucking... Look at me and Ben. We go to work every day.
Yeah. We've got
How long
mild
have you had your
alcoholism.
job for?
16 years.
Fucking hell, well, mine's about 8, so we're bang on
Yeah.
half. That's a fucking long time, 16. I thought 8 was impressive, but you got me.
But
still...
But mine is in the 50s and that.
Oh, fuck that. Look,
You know
we
what
make
I mean?
it to work every fucking
we
day,
do.
and we get drunk every fucking night.
And be honest, right? We drink less than our grandparents did. Because Grandad would have been down the pub every night,
It
wouldn't
was
he?
20 pence a pint.
Exactly.
Or a shilling or
10
something, I don't know what
pints,
the fuck.
stagger home, bag of chips on the way,
Yeah. And I know
and
they
then
used
get
to
up
have
and go do 12 hours down pit.
I know they used to have to walk to work uphill both ways and go to school 8 days a week and drink their tea from paper bags. But we've got it just as hard, I would say. I mean, do you get a cushion on your forklift seat?
Nope.
I don't get any special kind of... Truck drivers, they have special bouncy chairs.
They do, yeah.
I haven't got that in the van. And I do as many miles. It's hard life, Mike.
Yeah.
So we deserve this. Don't
We
take
do.
it away from us. Who's getting too sick? Sorry, once again, jumping all over the story, as we do.
Humanity may be seeing the last of the big drinkers.
You know what, Gaz, I'll take that. Last of the big drinkers.
Hey, I'll drink to that, my lad.
Do you think we'll have like a Highlander style epic battle at the end when there's only 2 of us left and the
We'll be
other one's
loading it all over all
all
these pussies whose systems can't take it.
That was on last night TV. I watched
What was
it.
it? Oh man, I was only thinking of that film the other
It was
day.
on 5 Spike.
Never understand why they got a Scotsman to
Something.
play an Egyptian and a Frenchman to play a Scotsman.
Yeah.
Still, it worked.
Well, humanity may be seeing the last of the big drinkers as new research claims evolution is making people physically unable to consume large amounts of alcohol. Examining trends across human populations, scientists from the University of Pennsylvania found that human genes are developing variants of an enzyme that breaks down alcohol in the body. Because new variants are less effective at tackling the alcohol, some drinkers are left so sick that they're unlikely to develop a taste for it.
Wow, I was going to say we just drink special brew and just get more hammered.
Shit. We might have an on-the-field study of this next Saturday because the way fate has worked out. You know, we can't record next Sunday.
No, we
because,
can't.
I have my niece's 18th birthday party. Well, the day before we're going out for your birthday, aren't we?
We are, yes.
Well, at the time we are leaving
The big
Shrewsbury-
25.
Well, listen, at the time we're leaving Shrewsbury, my 18-year-old niece, or the day before her 18th birthday, so my 17-year-old niece and her group of friends will be heading to Shrewsbury for their first night out together. Their first night on the piss ever. So I said that's going to be really interesting because you're going to see us coming back just as you're leaving. You'll see the effects of a day's drinking.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see the state of her at the family meal on the Sunday after. I'm like, they're planning to go. It was quite funny actually. I was like, well, how are you going to get in the clubs? Your ID is useless until the Sunday. And she's like, oh, well, I'm not going to try and get in until midnight.
All right.
And then technically, I am 18, of course I am. So that's quite good. But I think her 18th birthday party is going to be celebrated without her. Come on. But she reckons she's going to be fine. I was just like, first time hardcore on the piss. You know how you're going to feel afterwards. You feel like...
She's pretty drunk before, though.
No. She's good.
I
don't want to think about these things. No, she hasn't been
I know
what I was doing.
I bet she was down the local park drinking cheap cider.
No!
I said with the church taking methamphetamine.
Yes, she's had a bit like me. No.
Is that how you spent your 18th birthday, Gaz? Taking methamphetamine?
Moving on. I haven't done drugs for... It's literally weeks now. It's generally months now. I do it myself. I feel like a fraud.
I put up my crack pipe for good.
Well, I'm labelled on the descriptions of the show as the drug-addled lunatic. I'm probably still a lunatic, but just not that drug-addled these days. But hey, I'm not ruling it out, dear listener. Maybe I think next time I do drugs, we could actually get some good audio out of it. Yeah, we're doing in the field research of like how it affects my personality.
Like Anchorman 2 where they smoke crack on set.
Not crack. One of the party drugs.
It's like, wow.
Why would I go straight to the crack?
I'm just saying.
It's crack.
Oh, this will make great audio. Ben, can you lend me 60 quid? Oh, can you lend me 60 quid? Oh.
This crack is fucking Moorish.
Oh, God, it's so Moorish. Well, I will do one of the fun drugs where I just say, going, I am so glad I met you boys and we started doing this. You changed my life. That's more fun. To go straight to the fucking on Mike's carpet going through trying to... I might have dropped a rock. I might have dropped one. There isn't any there, guys. There might be one there. You don't know unless you look.
Happy days.
This podcast is a crack-free zone, okay?
I'm saying I didn't know how hard you wanted to go in, that's all.
Well, once we can't drink in the future...
I will be fine, though.
No,
we're
we're
okay.
right.
It's future generations.
It's the next
that's alright then.
Unless, is this affecting people who've already been drinking?
No.
But now, think about it, though. This could be good for humanity. Right? Because
Not good for me.
Well, no, yeah, but
Alcohol's one
we're
of the biggest killers.
yeah, but we're fine. We can still get drunk. It's not going to affect us. This is evolution, right? So, think the next generation that comes up, they won't have alcohol as a distraction. They'll study more. They'll become more intelligent.
No, they'll just start smoking weed instead.
Yeah, but nobody will get laid, will they? And nobody will get laid because nobody will have the confidence to actually go and talk to anybody.
Someone always will. The pickup artist fucking market will shoot through the roof.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, I hate those bastards.
Could we stick a pin in it for a sec?
Yeah, I could do the beer top up, so it's all good.
I could do with a bladder empty.
I also need to do that. Is that the last of the weird news?
There's a couple more.
Couple more. Okay.
Okay, no worries. So next article then. What we got? A thief who broke into a house. Oh my god, this isn't like that America's #1 gay sex predator guy of the week, is it?
A thief who broke into a house was caught watching porn and masturbating during burglary.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a guy who's got
that's a sign you've got a home that anyone can come into and feel immediately comfortable. It's a good thing. It's a good thing you've created a loving environment.
Is it?
Yeah.
A man identified as 28-year-old Alan Estrada broke into the hair extension business of Lisa and Steve Marizzi late on Tuesday and made the most of his new surroundings. CCTV footage shows Estrada having a good look at the property, smoking drugs, stealing money and credit cards, charging his phone and using a computer.
He's had a bit of a good time, didn't he?
To make matters even stranger, he was reportedly seen watching pornography on a disc he had brought with him.
Oh, what?
And
Oh, wow.
masturbating.
Fantastic.
So this
I always
guy...
keep a disc of porn on, but you never
No,
know.
hang on. He's
but
walking the streets with
always
a
got a
porn.
USB stick for the porn on me.
He's walking the streets with a porno on him, desperate, so desperate for somewhere to watch it that he's broke in somewhere.
To smoke some drugs.
Is that why he was? All I want to do tonight, I'm a bit homeless. All I want to do is watch this porno and smoke this weed, and I need somewhere to fucking do it. That place will do. Good on him, I say. I mean, he didn't hurt anyone, did he? And they got insurance.
The couple, who live in an apartment above their business, found the intruder after Lisa came down to make a cup of tea.
Okay.
Oh, no.
As soon as she saw him, she screamed, which prompted her own husband to rush downstairs and apprehend Estrada.
And her son. Bless him.
What, he apprehended his son as well?
Yeah, someone's down there watching the porn with him. No, his son went to help his mom. Bless him.
Oh, good on him. How old is he? 3?
Don't look, son, don't look.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, fantastic. So, yeah.
And we got one more.
One more.
Just for Gaz.
Oh, no.
Boston
You're not gonna like it.
Dynamics Atlas robot does backflips now and it's full tilt insane.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They're getting stronger.
There is a video.
Please look at the size of the bastard thing. It's massive. It's built like a brick shithouse. Well, it's
No.
literally built.
So for
Of
viewers,
steel.
if they want to go onto YouTube, there is a video. Just type in Atlas backflip.
Stop making the robots better than us.
There's literally the robot stood on a sort of an Olympic-sized podium kind of thing.
Oh, no.
And so if he's going to do a backflip on that space, well, I can't do that. What chance have I got of bayoneting one of them now in the future war?
It's gonna do...
I know that robot can do something I
Yeah,
can't do.
but the reason why us 3 here aren't going to have to fight it, some older... Well, I did watch the movie the other night, Cockneys versus Zombies.
It's not a bad movie. It's
So
alright.
I was thinking...
Bricktop's fucking brilliant in
so
that.
us lot could end up being... Because look at the size of that. What's going to hold it back is the battery pack on its back is giant. And that's
Yeah.
not going to last very long. So by the time... It's going to take a long time for them to be deployable so they can last a long time. We won't have to fight them, is what I'm saying. Unless, like in the movie, Cockneys versus Zombies, we're in an old folks' home
Yeah.
when the invasion happens, and we have to start using our old school knowledge to fuck up some robots.
Yeah.
That
We've
would
seen
be fun.
Terminator. The younger generation want to sim that. It'd be too graphic for them,
exactly.
wouldn't it?
They won't. We'll know it's Skynet. We
Yeah.
know Google has become Skynet.
Yeah.
You know,
I get to fulfil my destiny of leading the resistance at last.
I'll follow you into battle against the robot army, Ben.
Fantastic.
When we're old, though, I want to do some shit first. I've got to be honest. There's some stuff I want to do first.
All right, well, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But you know, Mum always said I'd be good for something.
You do fancy yourself as the leader of the resistance, don't you?
I like the idea of having a
Good.
throne made of Terminator skulls.
You've got to have goals.
Yeah,
You've got to have
exactly.
goals. They're very important in life.
They are. So that's what gets me out of bed every morning, guys. Thinking one day I'll be
gonna
leading the
fight the
resistance.
machines.
I'll be leading the resistance.
Good on you, man.
Zombies or machines? I'm not really fussed which one.
Yeah. But yeah, I was surprised by that movie. Oh man, that's terrifying. So we're seeing
It's
the
jumping
robot
up steps. It's jumping and turning 180
it's
degrees.
basically doing CrossFit. It's doing fucking CrossFit, jumping from one platform to another. It's terrifying.
Yeah, and it just did a 180 spin and another 180 spin in the air. It's jumping onto ledges.
God.
It's
It's going
turning.
to do the backflip.
No. Oh.
How
fucking
mental
hell.
is that?
A perfectly weighted backflip.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's
Still think
real.
you can't beat that basketball, guys?
Yes. No, I do still believe because that is, and I'm going to big up the humans again. Yes, that is an impressive backflip, but it's not a very intricate manoeuvre, if you know what I mean, compared to shooting
Oh, it did stumble a bit. It did stumble a bit.
These are outtakes.
Ah.
At the end, there is a few he messes up on.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, it does
Describe to the
actually.
listener, the robot just attempted a backflip and fell right on its fucking stupid face.
It did face plant.
And
It
if
fa-
this is your first episode, I will explain. I love robots in a sort of pop culture way, massively obsessed with them. But it's kind of a running theme on the cast now. In real life, I'm utterly fucking terrified by the notion that they're going to be A, smarter than us, B, more physically proficient than us, and one of my counter arguments is that we're going to still have a soul and be able to do poetry and stuff, and I think you guys are of the opinion, aren't you? Now they'll do better poems.
Yeah.
They'll just download, research everything and just construct something.
They'll formulate what the structure of a perfect poem and just write it.
So it fucking freaks me out and upsets me seeing the development, the fucking ricocheting like at speed, in speed terms of how fast things are developing, and these videos get scary and scary. It was a dog last week opening a door, Robo Dog,
yeah,
now,
Ravage.
Now it's back flippy dog, robot.
No, back flippy Terminator style,
Yeah. But
exoskeleton style robot. That's the worst.
it's a long
of
way
it.
off. We could have that at that stage now. We could have that.
But think when we're in the resistance, we've got the resistance going. They can jump now. Walls ain't gonna stop them, are they? We could have built walls.
Will they be easy?
They could just clear the ramparts.
That's what they're showing us, not what
Yeah.
they're developing.
That's it. What have they got? Well, they got something that can jump 60 feet now. Who knows?
Could we shoot it out of the air?
We could do because we'll have laser guns. It'd be cool.
We will beat the machines.
Oh yeah.
We have to, and we'll write better poetry and do better paintings. I have to believe it.
Well.
I'm sorry, boys.
Well,
I have to.
we'll probably live to see it. So.
No.
Well, if it's 3 to 5 years, the singularity.
Is it that gross?
Yeah. Well, that's what one of the scientists think.
Is that what the scientific
but
community
only
says,
one.
Mike?
Yeah. Ben Gertzweld, is it?
You're addressing me then? No, I'm not part of the scientific community. Far from it.
He's one of the engineers on Sophia and Hans.
That doesn't mean he's
Hans,
right.
who I'm.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Doesn't mean he's right. Fucking.
Hans is going to be Skynet, isn't he? And I'm going to stand there and put a bullet in that metal bastard's head at the end of the war.
Google is Skynet, isn't it already?
Hans is going to take over Google. Hans is.
Hans is just words.
No, man, you don't make threats like I'm getting a drone army to take it the power supply without meaning it.
Don't get me started on Hans. Anyway, fuck that guy.
That's weird news.
That's weird
That's
news.
weird news for this week.
And it's time for something that's possibly going to be a segment to what goes in the reggae box this week.
And should we...
Have you got the jingle, Gaz?
Yeah, I have, but just a brief description in case it's someone's first episode. Ben hates reggae very, very much. He also hates a lot of other things, so...
It's the same riff!
Yeah. So he has a special box for all the things he hates, and we call it the reggae box, and it has a jingle which goes something like this.
Come on over there. Put the gun down.
I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
Because I envy your normal life.
Put the gun down, David.
It seems that envy is my sin.
No, what's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's
gun.
in the fucking box?
Give me the gun.
What is in the reggae box, Ben?
I'll tell you what's in the reggae box this week.
What's that?
It's the first thing. It's the first time I've seen it for a while. Actually, it's the first time I've seen it this year, and it's the lack of it's the fake patriotism and Christian morals on Easter eggs. They don't have Easter on Easter eggs anymore. It's because they don't want to offend anybody.
Okay. Is that what people are saying?
Yes. Fucking stupid people. Stupid Easter eggs have never said Easter on them. We just call them Easter eggs because we get them at Easter.
I suppose, yeah.
They just say chocolate egg. It's
never
nothing to do with
thought about
taking away the Christian morals of the country, which someone legitimately said to me on Facebook. Someone who's got two kids and is unmarried. Those Christian morals, eh?
I don't remember the Easter Bunny being in the Bible.
No, funny, I don't remember that either. No.
I don't remember crapping in the Garden of Eden.
Oh man, you'd have bred like literally. There'd be shitloads of them, wouldn't there? They'd be tripping over them. But no, that's what's pissing me off. It goes in the reggae
Shit's
box
chocolate egg.
because it's like this. It's the same as that. They want to stop us wearing poppies. Facebook's banning poppies.
Same as the Christmas thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Happy holidays.
you can't say Christmas anymore. They're taking Easter off Easter egg boxes. Fuck off! It doesn't matter. It's chocolate.
It's fake.
As long as the fucking box of chocolate that I'm buying does not say egg flavoured shit.
Yeah. And if these fucking eggs.
So anyway, you're going to buy your confection,
Or
right?
just shit in an egg shape
Well,
in a box.
If these
Fuck
chocolates.
That would be the worst Easter ever. Daddy, the egg isn't chocolate. The egg isn't chocolate.
It's a bit nutty.
But this is my point.
Sweet corn.
What the fuck does it matter? It's a chocolate egg. No one's trying to take anything away from anybody.
No,
It's just
that is
no
true.
one's trying to stop anything. It's just that they're a fucking confectionery item. Stop getting wound up about it.
And if these eggs were so important to Christianity and the festival of Easter was so Christian, why the fuck, when I was in the supermarket today, what's the day on the time of recording, 25th of February or 24th?
Yeah. 20.
Why the fuck are there Easter eggs in the supermarket now? And they've been there for weeks.
Yeah, they've been there since
Never
January,
weeks,
for
'cause
fuck's
it's got
sake.
fuck all to do with fucking Jesus anymore. It's yet another. I mean, I'm preaching to the converted, speaking to you two in the room, but to the listener, I don't know if there's anyone Christian listening, but in England, I can only speak for my own country. It has got. I mean, for a very small percentage of people who will be going to church to celebrate the resurrection of Christ or the death of zombie Jesus, whatever it is, weird shit.
The guy who's
For kids,
off his face
it's
on
just
wine.
like, fuck, we actually get to eat chocolate guilt-free. Every relative's going
Yeah.
to give me chocolate and
Yeah,
say, have
that's
you
it.
eaten your Easter egg? Fuck yeah. Fuck, Jesus got no place. Jesus has no place in Easter. Yeah, I said it. And if he shows up, Ben, if he fucking shows up to my Easter party, you know what I'm going to do, Ben?
I don't know, mate.
Shank him. Shank that hippie bastard to death. And I don't care if he comes back in 3 days.
You shank him again.
That is an old joke. Yes, that's an old joke, listener. I could have Jesus in a fist fight. I don't care. He hasn't got real.
You know what, Gaz?
superpowers.
If he comes back on Easter, give me a ring. We'll fucking tag team the
Yeah, that's it. I'll drink to that.
back.
Fuck you, Jesus.
I'm up for a bit.
Sorry.
I'm up for a bit of deity bashing.
Oh,
yeah,
bash
that's what's-
everybody else on the
Yeah.
podcast.
That's what's in the reggae box this week. It's fake. It's fake. It's bullshit. No one's trying to take fucking Easter away from you, you pricks. Mind you, if you probably listen to this, you're probably thinking the same as I am. So
I'd like to think so.
yeah,
Oh, I love that feature. Cheers, Ben.
I had two actually, but I'm not going to go into it. I'll save it for next time.
Oh, yes.
There's always Andy keeps something that's pissing me off in reserve.
Yeah, keep it in you. It's good to harbour.
Yeah.
It's good to harbour.
I like to feel the
resentment
rage
and anger.
fester within
Yeah,
me.
it
Yeah,
gets you out of bed in the morning.
yeah. Keeps some lead in the pecker, mate.
Swiftly moving on.
Shall we get into this week's main topic, the meat and taters?
Meat
Of the
and
cast.
taters.
What is it this week, boys?
It's Slenderman,
Ooh.
or the legend of, should I say? It's like he's up there now, isn't he? With,
Who is
like-
Slenderman, so people who don't know?
Well, I'll explain that in a second. But he's kind of like he's up there with like Mothman. He's a mythical creature in a way, created purely off the net. He was created on the Something Awful forum by Eric Knudsen, who was aka Victor Surge in 2009, and all it was a photo competition. Photoshop a really scary photo. So he got some photos of some children in black and white, and he superimposed
his
a
penis.
well, after he. No, we're not going to do that because Mike. We're not going to.
The original name was Slender Dong. Slender Member.
You know what? We're not going to.
But he does kidnap children.
We're not going to insult Mr. Eric Knudsen because he's got. He's made a living out of this.
Oh, good on him.
And he's probably worth a lot more than us. So everything we say, we're going to say allegedly. Remember the catchphrase of the show? Allegedly.
Okay, allegedly superimposes penis on a photograph of children.
There we go.
He was allegedly called Slender Member originally.
Yes.
He
No.
kidnapped children with his penis tentacle.
No.
It was a Slender Member. So I'm just going to shut up.
Allegedly. Now, Slenderman, or I'm going to call him Slendy.
Oh no. Slendy baby.
Sounds like the reject dwarf that never made it.
Yes, no one in the 8 dwarf.
What was
Oh,
his
this
main
is-
characteristic? What does Slendy mean? He's just
Well, he was
skinny
a,
as
he was
fuck.
a child killer. He was the dark horse.
That's why they
route.
kept him away from Snow
Has he got the Hannibal Lecter mask on?
He was in
He
the
was on a
fucking
trolley in a straight jacket.
in the basement of the car. Don't let him anywhere near that sleeping lady. Well, she was young as well, wasn't she?
Do you know,
Snow White, yeah.
do you know that one of the names that was rejected was Shorty?
Shorty, I got your back, yo.
Shorty the dwarf.
It took me a while
So
to
would it have
click
been
on.
the smallest dwarf then? Or was it just a generic nickname? Anyway, Slendy is depicted as an unnaturally tall man with a featureless head and face and wearing a black suit. And it's, in some artwork and canon as such as it is, he has tentacles, either 4 arms or on his back, which is... Tentacles look like spaghetti. It's creepy pasta. This is where this developed. Creepy pasta.
Creepy bloody pasta. Which is a sort of a social place where you go to share
Horror stories.
Horror stories that you've written yourself that are.
Do you remember salad fingers?
No, Mike, I don't.
Fingers,
No,
I
rusty
just said
spoons.
put the mic.
no,
I remember Button Moon.
I like to touch rusty spoons.
What the
no.
What the fuck?
Salad fingers.
What? What's that from?
It's just, little next time, it's just a YouTube thing that was sort of like going about. God, it's like 20 years old now. It's gotta be. It's just a
Salad
cartoon.
fingers.
It's a guy with salad fingers. He likes rusty spoons.
Okay, well, thanks for that obscure 90s internet reference, Mike. It's is that what you spend your time doing?
Yeah. The creepy pasta just popped in my head. Salad fingers.
Because it's food and it was weird and creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy pasta. I see it. It's
Yeah.
very scientific thinking. Science officer Mike.
So he's got a black suit on as well.
Yeah.
Stories commonly feature him stalking, abducting, or traumatising people, particularly children. See, what Victor Surge or Eric Knudsen did in these photos was not only did he superimpose this sort of scary figure into these photos of children, he then attached captions to them.
Yeah.
Sort of basically saying where everyone died, or the photographer was missing, presumed killed, or there was a fire at the orphanage. Something terrifying. So he made them into a story. He gave this...
The idea was to make it as realistic as possible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, have you got the captions written there?
I haven't actually, have you?
Oh, I've got them, yeah. So under the first one, it was just a simple one. It said, 1983, photographer unknown, presumed dead. But the one under the second one read, one of 2 recovered photographs from the Stirling City Library blaze. Notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slenderman. Deformities cited as film defects by officials. Fire at library occurred 1 week later.
So there you go. It's so he adds that fleshing out. So he turned it into a work of fiction rather than just being a photo competition. I presume he won. I don't know.
I don't know. And to be honest, I some of the photos I saw were
they were creepy.
they were pretty good. Yeah, it's a really clever way because it wasn't over the top. It's really subtle, isn't it? So it's an old.
He's literally, you have to look for him.
Yeah,
in the picture.
that's what makes. And old photos I find are creepy anyway.
Oh,
Sometimes,
yeah.
especially of children playing. And
Have you seen the old creepy Halloween costumes of kids in like the 1800s? It's
God,
creepy.
Bet they're horrific.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
proper
can
weird,
imagine.
man. Yeah.
Well, there's one to go and look for, listener.
Yeah.
Halloween costumes from the 1800s.
So yeah, you'll see there'll be children playing, then you look in the background between 2 trees and you'll see this very tall, overly tall...
Yeah. Taller than that Chinese guy who's the tallest guy in the world.
Yes, taller than him. Did you see some of the fan films where I did actually find it quite creepy where he has to duck down to come through the door and this big, formless, shapeless... Sorry, I keep hitting the mic.
They're making a Hollywood movie.
They are?
Yeah, because the guy...
I did not watch the trailer.
no,
I did.
Was it
might
good?
be-
Well, it's directed by Sylvain White, who's known for such classics as I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, which received a 3.6 in IMDb,
Fantastic.
and the Hawaii Five-0 remake.
Which also flopped, didn't it?
Oh, I wasn't a fan.
Well,
I think the series... Did they do a film of it, or did they just do the series?
are you thinking Miami
What?
Vice
Oh, maybe.
with the Colin Farrell?
That's it. It was
Yeah,
Miami
Miami
Vice.
Vice.
Yeah.
Well, back to the...
And the Hawaii Five-0 remake did last a long time on Sky One. In a sort of prime-timey slot.
It's not my type of thing.
Well, no, I wouldn't watch it. It's bullshit.
Back to Slendy, baby. Despite being he is copyright owned by the guy who invented him, but it's still kind of a modern folklore. Because folklores are like public domain type stories that spread and build over years. And this, I would say, was maybe one of the I'm guessing I haven't got this in my
people
notes.
call
I'm
it
guessing one of the
folklore,
first. But one of the first, I'm guessing, sort of internet examples of this, where folklore is built.
That's it. To this
Purely
degree.
from the internet and spread.
And actually, a user called Throw Up actually created a folklore for the whole thing, set in the 16th century Germany,
Yes.
called
yes.
Dead Gross Man.
Yes, he used some wood cutting as evidence. So, look, this unnaturally tall, skeletal-like figure is sword fighting with a dude.
So that's the Slenderman.
So that's a swashbuckling Slendy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's expanded even more. It's going to be a film. The characters appeared in video games, and there's apparently a found footage style video series on YouTube which has over 250,000 subscribers and over 55 million views. I'd imagine that will get quite repetitive though after a while. But Victor Surge got the inspiration for it from The Insidious Beast by Zach Parsons, The Mist, Stephen King, Shadow People. That's the one where the guy gets spiders in his skin, isn't it?
Yeah. I love it.
Spiders, no. Mothman.
The Mothman prophecies or whatever.
Shadow People.
Hey,
You're familiar
that's
with
a
them?
bit racist.
No, it'll probably be an episode one day. Genuinely.
Okay.
The Black Shadow with a machine gun.
Yo, this is a good one. I'll go the works of H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And the Mad Gasser of Mattoon.
Who?
I did click on the link for this, and
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck's the Mad Gasser of Mattoon?" And it was this guy in like the 1920s or 30s in Mattoon. It's in America, somewhere like Louisiana or Milwaukee or something. Not Milwaukee, somewhere like southern anyway. And he would go and basically like put gas pipes, like sever the gas pipe, put it in the house, put it in the letterbox.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, he's this guy. They never found out who did it, and he did so many. And he's
What was he called again?
The Mad Gasser of Mattoon.
That's a hell of a name. I love it.
You sound Scottish. The Mad Gasser of Mattoon.
Yeah,
He does, yeah.
yeah. And if you're near Slendy, you get Slendy sickness, Slender sickness. See, rapid onset of paranoia, nightmares, and delusions accompanied by nosebleeds, which is almost like the meat from League of Gentlemen in season 1, the special meat.
Yeah, I love that.
You never quite figured out what it was.
No.
I always thought it was human meat. In the
Could have been,
Never
yeah. We
spoke
never
about
knew,
it
did
before.
we? We never knew.
Yeah, you never found out. But he's predominantly after kids, Slendy.
Yeah. Pedo.
But his intentions are vague, aren't they? It depends on the story and who's telling the story as to whether he kidnaps and kills children or saves disenchanted.
It takes them away to a magical forest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they become known as proxies.
So hang
And
on.
live in his beautiful castle or home.
Wait, so is Slenderman the hero that lived long enough to see himself become the villain?
Oh God. Well, yeah, I guess. But it depends. And I got a quote here about, as we were saying, it's folklore. Several scholars have argued that despite being a fictional work with an identifiable origin point, the Slenderman represents a form of digital folklore. Shearer Chess argues that the Slenderman exemplifies the similarities between traditional folklore and the open source ethos of the internet, and that, unlike those of traditional monsters such as vampires and werewolves, the fact that the Slenderman's mythos can be tracked and signposted offers a powerful insight into how myth and folklore form.
I got a bit on here. What was her name again? Shearer Chess.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a weird name.
She said that
Allegedly.
she connected the Slender Man to ancient folklore about fairies, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, she said that they're both like fairies. Both are otherworldly. Both have ambiguous motives. Both are vague. Both often shift to reflect what the viewer wants or fears to see.
Yeah.
Both, their home is the woods and the wild, and both kidnap children.
But one's massive and the other's a little tiny
Yeah.
dudes. But yeah, I guess in terms of motive and stuff. So you're getting, I imagine, we're building the picture that this is
Purely created.
provable, traceable, trackable, and it's very interesting to the academics
Yeah.
to see how it
Yes.
took hold of everybody's.
And do you know the three aspects it has that make it a myth?
Nope. Give it to me.
Collectivity,
What's
Created by a collective.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Variability. Story changes depending on the tale. Performance. The narrative changes to reflect the audience.
Right.
Yeah, because I suppose like you cast him how you want to see him, don't you?
And apparently that's how all myths can be classed as.
Well, look at one of my favourite myths, Robin Hood.
Yeah, I watched Men in Tights the other day.
Oh, classic. But
Yeah.
it depends how you look at it, doesn't it? He's either a guy who robbed from the rich and fed the poor, or he was a fucking terrorist.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if you read the Daily Mail, he was probably a terrorist.
Yeah, of course, the Daily Mail would fucking hate Robin Hood.
He would. They would.
And I would love it. He would fucking nail... Like, some fucker would open the Daily Mail on their cart horse to the medieval office.
Yeah.
I'm physically to the boys miming, bouncing up and down.
Shall I
on
get
the
2
back of it.
coconut shells?
Yeah, clap them together, yeah. And then your copy of the Daily Mail suddenly gets pinned to the back of your cab by an arrow,
Yeah.
and a little cloth rolls down that says, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck ye!
Yeah. Ye oldie fuck ye.
Yeah, and then you look up and you go to shake your fist at Robin and you notice all your gold jewellery's gone.
Yeah.
Fucking bastard! Oh, I love Robin Hood. Sorry, that was a
So
tangent.
Jeremy Corbyn's like Robin Hood,
Yeah?
and Sheriff of Nottingham is Nigel Farage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or it's the other way round, depending what side you're on, doesn't it? That's
Well, yeah.
how myth
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the last thing? What was the last thing? Of myth?
Performance. The narrative changes to reflect the audience.
There you go, let's see. So
Yeah.
if you're a Farage lover, he's the hero of the story. If you're a Corbyn lover,
Yeah.
he's the emperor.
And a dirty Czech spy.
No, he's not the emperor, is he? He's more like one of the emperor's minions, isn't he? He's not the emperor.
Well, I don't know, but I spent an extraordinary amount of time on Twitter this week calling Nigel Farage a shitheel.
Wow, good for you. I'm glad to know you're using your time.
Yeah. Just a free moment. See a tweet for Farage, call him a shitheel. It's been a new hobby, actually.
One we should all indulge.
Oh, and a ham-faced weasel fucker.
I love the insult shit heel so much because
Yeah.
in wrestling terminology, heel literally means bad guy.
Yeah,
So a
yeah.
shit heel is just like, yeah, you're a bad guy and you're a shit.
Yeah.
You shit heel. I like it. So, should we
So should we have
bit
some
more of this
a few
Slenderman?
a few incidents, because the thing is with this is it's grown and it's grown. It's got to the point where impressionable minds, should we say, as tweens, pre-teens, are really thinking, my God, this is real. It's in these computer games. It's this myth. They don't know it's not a myth. They don't. We know.
Yeah, and again, I watched Aliens and Predator. I knew it was a film.
Well, yes, but it's not. The reality is blurred, hasn't it, between a film. You know a film's, unless it says based on a true story, you know a film's fictional. I don't recall Aliens saying, I hope Aliens didn't say based on a true story somewhere. Maybe it flashed up subliminally.
Holy shit.
Better not.
But so we had an unidentified woman in Ohio told a WLWT TV reporter that a 13-year-old daughter had attacked her with a knife, having previously written Slenderman fiction. September 4th, 2014, a 14-year-old girl sets fire to the family home after reading Slenderman material online. Her family were in the house.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
This story's shit! The ending was so unsatisfying! I'm surprised the fucking Star
Sadly,
Wars
no
nerd
one-
hasn't burnt their house down in a rage. They were so upset over it.
No one was hurt in that fire, by the way. They all got out.
I mean, yay. Like, I sounded disappointed there, but I'm not.
And there was a 2015 epidemic of suicide attempts on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation was cited as influence of Slendy.
Hang on a minute. I just thought, do you remember in Wales a few years ago?
Oh, Bridgend, yeah.
Bridgend, yeah, there was a massive spate of suicides.
Yeah, but you know what that
amongst
is.
teens. Yeah, because I go to
Yeah.
Bridgend regularly
Economic
for work.
depression.
Well, there's
Well,
literally,
there's nothing
there's a Ford plant and a McDonald's,
There's nothing there.
and it's like you've got a choice. You either go to uni and you get out of there,
Yeah.
or you end up in the Ford plant or McDonald's.
Yeah, it's like Flint, Michigan in the United States,
Yeah.
similar.
It's true. There's nothing. There's some natural beauty around there,
Oh yeah.
but there's nothing there.
Also some nice hanging trees, obviously.
Oh. But yeah, maybe is that connected? They were teenagers, weren't they? Maybe not the Slender Man specifically, but was there something online that they had all read the same thing that had been, or maybe I don't know. It's just a social thing.
I think it was the
spread.
hopelessness of the situation.
Yeah. On that point, sorry to be a pain. Can we?
Yeah.
So-
I'll just actually say that Many Native Americans traditionally believe in a quote suicide spirit, and it is kind of similar to Slendy.
Ah. Ooh. Is he called? I can't think of a Red Indian. Oh, not sorry, Native American.
Standing freak.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Cheers, Mike.
No, we'll pause it there.
Cheers.
So back to it. The biggest, the highest profile incident was May 31st in 2014 when two 12-year-old girls, Anissa Weir, I never quite figured out how to say it, and Morgan Geyser lured classmate Peyton Leutner into a wooded park in Waukesha, Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I
Yeah.
reckon.
Geyser stabbed Leutner 19 times while Vera urged her on, or also said, "I can't do it," but obviously shouted encouragement from the sidelines.
And they were 12 years old.
They were all 12. Leutner actually survived the attack, which for me is just fucking sloppy.
You had 19. Well, I'll save it actually 'cause it's in this article just how close she was to actual. Sorry, I had a
it's in the
filter tip in my
documentary.
mouth.
Yeah.
But she did manage to crawl out of the woods and was found by a cyclist.
She's a fighter.
She certainly is. I will give her that.
12-year-old been stabbed 19 times and then left and crawled to that track. So good on her.
Yeah. It was like a bit of woodland in the suburban area. I mean, it must be like the equivalent of a mount for us somewhere around here. You know, it's like up Mansley Mount. And you want to come up Mansley Mount? Play hide
I
and
don't want to
seek?
go Mansley back with you.
Only the prostitutes do, Mike.
They never come back though, do they, Ben? They never come back.
I can neither comment nor do anything with that. So only both Vera and Geyser told detectives they felt they had to kill Leutner to become Slendy's proxies and protect their families who they thought were in danger. Yeah. They'd both been reading, well, certainly Geyser had been reading a lot of this stuff. She was really obsessed.
And drawing pictures.
Mutilating her Barbie dolls as well, apparently, and drawing the... I read a Daily Mail article which shows how bad the reporting was, because even on the basic Wikipedia page for Slenderman, it had the symbols. It was like a circle with a cross through it, is like a Slenderman symbol. She'd drawn this on her Barbie doll's stomachs, and they were reporting as satanic symbols.
I have the Slenderman symbol here. Boys, it's simply...
Looks like the X-Men badge.
It looks like the Xbox.
It's a circle.
Yeah.
It's a circle with an X through it, and it's sort of scruffily scribbled, drawn. It's not a pristine drawing. It looks like a freehand scribble, but that's the logo. It's very simple.
But they thought that if they were to become proxies of Slender,
that's a great band name.
Yeah, you know what?
Slender.
Then they would be transformed. That's a fucking good band name, isn't it?
It's our second album.
Oh yeah.
We can have side projects.
Oh, we never get away with
side
that.
project, yeah.
We never get away with that.
Why?
Oh, after this tragic event, we never get away with being called proxies of Slender.
We can do
Maybe
what
do
we
a
want,
track.
then. We can do what we want. It's the internet, within reason, within certain preset legal parameters.
Well,
We can do what we want.
I'm just saying, you know, it's.
The guy masturbates with fucking fish guts.
Yeah, we can call our band where we want.
Yeah.
We're not as bad as him.
It's definitely an album name.
Yeah.
Definitely an album name. Definitely a track. But they thought that they would be transformed into little mini half human, half monster things, and they would live with Slendy in his mansion in the woods.
Well,
and be a slave.
And effectively kill people for him, I suppose, which is what it would boil down to, because that's or save them, depending on your interpretation of the character.
one of the girls was under the impression that he would help her with, you know, the problems in her mind, but we'll get to that. Can I read you, gentlemen? That's the essentially that's what happened. They were then. Oh, actually, we're missing off the end, aren't we? The girl who crawled to safety was safety. She crawled to. She was found by a cyclist.
She survived.
And the two girls who perpetrated the crime were picked up pretty soon after, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. And we watched the interviews in a documentary, and it's
The documentary.
The innocence is horrifying of it because she's just explaining it like a child.
Yeah, well,
Exactly. Yeah. But
It's like the baby eaters of Hampstead Church.
That just before
Yes.
that documentary
Satanism.
is called Beware the Slenderman.
Yeah.
It's on. I recommend it on. It's made by HBO, so copyright and all. I don't know how much longer it'll be on YouTube, but it was really
Pretty
good.
harrowing though. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. But it was interesting for reasons we'll get
Yeah.
into later, hopefully, about the internet and because it showed you that girl's internet history.
yeah, it did. Yeah.
And that was because Leona didn't realise that bit. She thought that was just an example of what children can see, and I was like, no. It was pointedly showing you her login and stuff. That was her internet history. But we'll get to that. Can I read you guys a little something from the Guardian
Goes.
about this attack? So we've got the basic. I'll just wet the whistle. This will flesh out a little bit who these girls are and how they came to be in the woods with a fucking steak knife.
Yeah.
And their quote-unquote best friend. So, on a Friday night in the late spring of 2014 in the small, drab city of Waukesha. How did we sort of agree on that? You know what we mean, listener.
Waukesha.
Yeah.
It's not Wakanda. That's a completely different place.
Close, but no cigar.
No vibranium.
No, not here. It's in Wisconsin. A trio of 6th grade girls got together to celebrate Morgan Geezer's birthday. They skated for hours under the disco lights at the roller rink. Tame, mousy-haired Peyton Leutner, known as Bella, Anissa Weir, with her shaggy brown mop top, and Morgan, the quote best friend they had in common, with her moon of a face, big glasses, and long blonde hair. They were 3 not so popular girls at Horning Middle School, a little more childish than the others, a little more obsessed with fantasy and video games and making up scary stories. Morgan cast herself as the creative weirdo, and she related to her new friend Anissa on this level, through science fiction. Anissa, who had almost no other friends, had moved down the block after her parents' recent divorce. When they got back to the birthday girl's house, they greeted the cats, played games on their tablets, and then headed to Morgan's bedroom, where they finally fell asleep. All 3 together, in a puppy pile in the twin-sized loft bed.
Aww.
That's the normal picture of
Suburban
3
American life.
12-year-olds, having a sleepover and a lovely night out, and all very wholesome. In the morning, the girls made a game out of hurling clumps of silly putty up at the ceiling. They role-played for a while, as the android from Star Trek and a troll and a princess. Then ate a breakfast of donuts and strawberries. Morgan got her mother's permission to walk to the small park nearby. As they headed to the playground, Bella in the lead, Morgan lifted her plaid jacket to show Anissa what she had tucked into her waistband. A steak knife from the kitchen. Anissa was not surprised. They had talked about this moment for months. After some time on the swings, Anissa suggested they play hide and seek in the suburban woods at the park's edge. There, just a few feet beyond the 3 line, Morgan, on Anissa's cue, stabbed Bella in the chest. Then she stabbed her again, and again, and again. In her arms, in her leg, near her heart. By the time Morgan stopped, she had stabbed her 19 times. Bella, screaming, rose up, but she couldn't walk straight. Anissa braced her by the arm. Both of them were small. And she and Morgan led her deeper into the trees, farther away from the trail. They ordered Bella to lie down on the ground. They claimed that they would go and get help. Lying on the dirt and the leaves, the back of her shirt turning damp with blood, slowly bleeding out in the woods, Bella was left to die. After 5 hours, about 5 hours later, and a few miles away, while resting in the grass alongside Interstate 94, Morgan and Anissa were picked up by a pair of sheriff's deputies. The deputies approached them carefully, aware that the girls were possible suspects in the stabbing, but confused by their age. One of the men noticed blood on Morgan's clothes and he handcuffed her. When he asked if she was injured, she said no. Then where did the blood come from? He asked. I was forced to stab my best friend, she said.
Fucking hell. Just go out like that. So casually.
First question. Morgan and Anissa did not yet know that Bella, against all odds, had survived. After their arrests, over the course of nearly 9 combined hours of interviews, they claimed they were compelled to kill her by a monster they had encountered online. When discovered, the girls were making their way to him, heading to Wisconsin's Nicollet National Forest on foot, almost 200 miles north. They were convinced that, once there, if they pushed farther and farther into the nearby 700,000-acre forest,
Fucking hell.
they would find the mansion in which their monster dwells, and he would welcome them. They had packed for the trip granola bars, water bottles and photos by which to remember their families. Though they were both a very young Midwestern 12, they had been chosen for a dark and unique destiny that none of their junior high classmates could possibly understand. Drawn into the forest in the service of a force much greater and more mysterious than anything in their suburban American lives, what drew them out there has a name: Slenderman.
Slendy.
Faceless and pale and impossibly tall. His symbol is the letter X inside a circle. So we'll leave it there for now. So that gives you a bit of background to these weren't two psycho girls to it. You know, they were two a bit out of, not socially popular, bit clumsy, bit awkward. We know the type.
Could have been me. Could have been me at that age. Yeah. Awkward.
They had a
Stunningly
perfectly normal
handsome,
evening.
yet weird.
I mean, they were playing dress up. They were playing dress up. Do you know what I mean? They were
And they've been plotting for months to stab their friend.
Yeah.
in service of Slenderman.
Slendy.
So, Slendy. So how did we get here then, boys? How did we get to these two girls specifically? Well, we know how, don't we? But we'll discuss it. How do we get to this point where they are going through? Because what they don't tell in that story, what we learned from the documentary, was something even darker. Was, you know, when they went to the toilets first and they smashed her head against the wall. They tried to sneak up on it, didn't they? They smashed her head against the wall, and then sort of got weirded out because she obviously started screaming and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's dazed from having her head smashed into a concrete wall at this point by her quote unquote best friends.
Best friends in the
like,
world.
Oh, we'll go and play a game. We'll go and play hide and seek. Man, she must have been confused from the start before then.
Well, she didn't want to play. She wanted to go home. But they said, well, no, because if you play this, you can choose the next game. And that shows the kind of age. That's
Would you
that's
agree,
not a
boys?
12-year-old speaking there, is it? Well, you can choose the next game. That's a younger child, in my mind. You know, it's...
Well, would you agree, though,
it's
even at age 12, would you say even at age 12 you've got a bit of a sixth sense for feeling something isn't right? These two are being weird, something's going on.
And I wouldn't play,
She
especially
might
if I
have
smashed
known-
my head into a wall.
Even before then, though, you might have like thinking that something's going on with them too.
But she
'cause
showed
they've
her, she showed her the knife at that
She
point.
showed her, and said, look, we're doing it today. They talked about it the night before, I think, as far as I remember.
They were going to do it in the evening, but they wanted her to have one more day.
Yeah, it was a bit of, well, originally Anissa Via was going to do it, and she chickened out at the last, backed out at the last minute.
Yeah.
And Geezer, who was the more into this, shall we say, I suspect she was the dominant personality in their relationship, and she was really trying to get Vera to do it, probably so she'd have to do it herself.
Yeah.
But she was the more into this. And when the knife was handed to her, I can't do it.
Yeah,
She's the one.
to do it.
She's the one that did it. She was definitely the more into this, and I think you do often find this in the Columbine shooters have that sort of personality. There's a dominant one and the submissive one, and the submissive one was just trying to please the dominant one. And I can guarantee you, she probably said something like, "Oh well, I'll do it then. You're useless," kind of thing. It would assert her authority over a bit more and inspire that mentality to please. So you go further next time, possibly, in order to please them.
Also, as far as we know, and we only have sort of their testimony to go on, and when we saw in the documentary all the psychologists, there was a lot of them who spent time with them, that they genuinely believed they had to do this to save their own families and to save themselves. Not from the Slenderman, though. Or would he? Or was it from? He would kill them.
He would kill them. They didn't become his proxies. But then they thought they were going to have this wonderful life in the woods with him,
and it would save their families at the same time. So
That's a lot of pressure.
yeah,
it certainly is.
If I don't do this, my
especially
family's
if you
going to
believe
die.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
And we know that from the Matrix that perception is reality. So
Yeah,
if she perceives that is as real
yeah.
to her, as anything.
And I was looking on YouTube at Slenderman. I typed in the wrong thing to begin with, and there's 5 confirmed sightings of Slenderman, and most of them was utter garbage. And I'm 34 at the moment, and still and going, well, yeah, that's garbage. Fuck me, that's terrible.
12,
but when you're 12 and you believe everything you see on that screen is real, because what have you done? You've watched TV, you watch the news, you think everything shown on that screen is real. Yeah. Oh, it's on the internet, it must be true.
And it's
like so many people, but when you're 12 and you're in your professional mind and you're possibly quite mentally stable.
And that's the key, is it? Children that have mental illnesses, because these two didn't they?
Undiagnosed mental illnesses.
That's the thing. That is what we're going to get to. What I believe is the massive crux of this story is that both of these girls were seriously mentally unwell, undiagnosed at that point. And it's just kind of the perfect storm of the wrong circumstances. Yeah. Because to anyone, like we're saying, to a child, this could seem real easily. And then you might, in this conspiracy, quote unquote, aware age we live in because of the internet, you could also then see that it says online that it's a fictional character and think, well, that's a conspiracy, that's bullshit.
Oh yeah,
I know it's real.
You got to believe the opposite of it, don't you? You believe the opposite of everything your beliefs. If you see something you don't like, I don't. Nah, that's true.
Yeah, you're the master of the
cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, exactly. The audience is master of the meaning, and so yeah, should we address the elephant in the room then, and say that after these girls were arrested, it was, I think, fairly quickly assessed by mental health professionals that both, one more so,
Geezer was the more so, I think, and
suffering from schizophrenia, and one was suffering from disillusions and visions. And
as a child, she reported him, and her parents kind of went, it's just kid stuff, which I do kind of get. Children have imaginary friends, they see stuff that isn't there, and you can. And if she stops, because they didn't believe her so much, they're, oh no, whatever, yeah, all right. She just stopped telling them about it, and she was probably still getting them as she got older, and that was it. It was like, so she never bothered telling them because they won't believe me.
Yeah. And a lot of her drawings that we saw in the documentary showed that she was having feelings like wanting to escape her body, escape her mind. She was a tortured 12-year-old, but you also saw photographs of her in a Star Trek uniform doing the what's it called?
The Vulcans. Well, she actually really likes Spock because
she looks like a normal, happy. She didn't even look like a outcast to me. No. She looked like a pretty young lady, 12-year-old girl, happy as Larry in a Star Wars outfit. But that's just a snapshot, a moment in time, isn't it? Just a photograph. Yeah. That girl was going through absolute fucking hell on the inside that she hadn't told anyone about.
No one
she could only really express herself through her made-up stories with her other friend, who is also schizophrenic, but not in the same vein. I'm no expert, but it's a scale and a type, and it's a complicated illness. Schizophrenia is like an umbrella term, I think, for because some have delusions, some don't. Some see things, some don't. Hear voices, some don't. But either way, these two girls. Many professionals, from what the documentary showed, there's a lot of fucking psychologists isn't there? Yeah. Have all come to this same conclusion. So you then throw into that they're reading online and sharing to each other this Slenderman and has somehow latched onto it. And
with the fantasy world they probably created, like they probably did a fantasy role play because they were really into that, where. We have to become his proxies and then we'll live in this magical mansion and we'll become half animal, half monster kind of thing. It'll be a great life and that just got into her head as being what's going to happen, isn't it? She accepted the fantasy as a reality and she taught the other one, taught Vera into it. And it's. Geezer testified that she was conversing with Lord Voldemort, who she called Voldy, as if they were friends.
Hey, were you friends with this lady? Girl, sorry. No. Slendy and Voldy.
And one of the Ninja Turtles, but I could never specify which one it was.
Yeah, she thought she could communicate with them.
Yeah. I'm guessing Raphael. He was the outcast.
He was the angriest.
Yeah, he was.
Wasn't the father schizophrenic?
This is where I was going to say this.
I remember now.
Yeah, I was going to say this for the end. At the end of the episode, we tend to all ask, "What's our final opinion?" My opinion of this, and this is why I bothered to do a bit of schizophrenia research, because I knew I was going to say this, and I wanted to be careful of where I speak in case anyone listening is affected or whatever, because I'm no expert. The father of the child was diagnosed schizophrenic and treated for it.
So he was on medication.
Yes, and he lived a normal life, was married, and he was on top of it fine.
Apart from the fact that he used to see the devil in the back seat.
Yes, he did
telling
explain
him that he's going to die.
Yeah. Now,
He's driving.
now,
I'm sure the devil wouldn't do that, Mike. He's a friend of the show.
so you're this guy,
I'd shit go, wouldn't
No,
I?
it certainly
No,
would.
so-
I wouldn't be too thrilled about it.
and we have to be careful because this is a real guy, and these are recent
Yeah.
events. They were only
course.
sentenced last year, 2017. So I will say once again, allegedly, and this is all my own opinion, is that so you're that guy. You've had this daughter for 12 years. Would you not have been looking for some signs, knowing what you've been through? And he explained that Mike mentioned there. He described fairly in detail in the documentary his experiences growing up of things, but he was saying he had an ability to differentiate, and from what we could tell from the film, led a normal life, was
he
married with
seemed
children. Now,
pretty square on, to be fair, didn't he?
I did mind
He
it.
was genuinely horrified by it all.
yeah,
I
he was
mean,
very upset by it,
Yeah.
and it was quite harrowing to watch him. Of course, it should be, and this is why I'm not being horrible to him, but this is just one Google search, hereditary and the genetics of schizophrenia, and I'm reading now from what I found, and this says, as can be seen from the graph below, schizophrenia definitely has a very significant genetic component. Those who have a third-degree relative with schizophrenia are twice as likely to develop schizophrenia as those in the general population. Those with a second-degree relative have a several-fold higher incidence of schizophrenia than the general population, and first-degree relatives have an incidence of schizophrenia in an order of magnitude higher than the general populace. So,
what's the general populace? Again,
the
sorry.
general populace, 1% of the
1%.
general
That
populace.
seems high.
Now, your
That
first,
seems high.
your firstborn, your child is.
But if it's a genetic thing, then it's your first. It's direct
No, that's-
relative.
No, that's a general
1% is just the general populace.
That's high. That's one in
so
a
there are
100 people.
but
That's not right, is it?
I don't know.
Michael, you know how prevalent mental.
Well, and it's massive.
But then again, it's
Plus,
a,
like I said earlier,
it's a-
schizophrenia has
I
levels
suffer
and
from depression
degrees.
myself,
it's-
so
it's a massive umbrella, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Depression
like
is
everything
on the
from-
schizophrenia. Because I remember I said casually once to somebody when I was in a depression, like, oh, I hate myself. And my mate was like, whoa, you don't say things like that. And I was like, oh, well, and he was like, no, he's like, hating yourself. He's like, that's on the schizophrenia scale. Then I was like, what, really? And he's like, no, it really is. I was like, is it? And he was like, you need to talk to somebody. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I just thought I was having a bad depression. But that just shows you, I don't know, maybe he knew more than me, maybe he was misinformed, I don't know. But my point of bringing all this up is, I think if I'm the father of that child, because this says here, so 1% is the general populace. Your child is 13% likely genetically to have it. 13%. That's high compared to the 1%. It's not a guarantee, but to me that's high, and I would be looking. And I don't know, I should have looked into this. Are there tests you can give a child
I imagine
at a
a
young
young
age
Rorschach
to
and stuff
find
like
it?
that.
I
And you
don't
can speak
know.
to him, wouldn't you? Just speak to him. Just what you like to do.
I-
Now you've got a 3-year-old saying that she's seeing ghosts and having friends, and he's not flagging that.
Yeah,
That-
my opinion
that
is they
concerns
should
me.
have seen. They should have been
Yeah.
looking for this. I'm not saying looking for a stabbing. Christ, no one is expecting that. And no parent could predict that. But if you know as the father what you've been through, I would have been watching and wanting to know from as soon as she was conscious.
fuck yeah.
I hope she's not going through what I've been through, and I need to know. But maybe it was too.
But she also got a tablet for Christmas, and
then-
she just used to sit in her room on that tablet,
and
watching various
As we
Facebook
referred
videos,
to
everything
earlier,
from little
do
cute
you want to
dogs
see
to
her
it.
history? Do you want to go through? Because I referred to it earlier, didn't I? In the documentary, they showed us a bit of her internet history. Do you want to say some of the things we saw?
Oh, it was. But
Do you
it
remember?
was just like it was like some kind of weird cat eating a
Yeah.
mouse.
Well, beating it to death.
Beating
then
it to
eating
death and then eating it. That was a bit creepy, isn't it? This I don't know what it was. It's like this, like almost like little cheetah in a way.
Yeah, it was definitely some sort of wild cat type thing that was being kept as a pet.
Yeah.
And then remember the creepy voice that went, "Which way do you put a baby into a blender?
That's it.
Feet
Yeah.
first so you can see its face."
Yeah. That was I was like kind of
Whoa.
Yeah, I've
you
seen
know
that.
you know when you're watching something and you're listening, but I think I was replying to a text or something.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I was like, what the fuck was
I
that?
bet
And
that
actually had to
snapped your head up.
Yeah, I was like, I had to, and I actually I was sort of,
Obviously thought you were schizophrenic.
I looked at it and went, fuck, that's like,
That was.
you know,
dark, man.
I like a sick joke.
Yeah, but
Don't get me wrong.
when you're 12 and schizophrenic, and
But it's
seeing
like,
that,
even I'm like,
Well, there's no humour in that.
no, there isn't. It's just like
No.
something a sociopath would say.
Yeah.
yeah, it really is. And did you see? I remember Artsinge. That's just twigged my memory. She'd actually researched all those tests. Am I a psycho? Am I a sociopath?
Yeah, on YouTube
and
videos.
done those tests. Because she was questioning. She knew something wasn't right. She knew. You know, even at.
But also, you have them stupid like Facebook quizzes, like how far are you on the psychopath scale, and maybe she scored quite high on something like that, and that fueled it even further. Even though those tests are bullshit, maybe that fueled her.
But she wasn't
would
one
have
though,
fueled
was
it.
she? She's not a sociopath or a
No, but
psychopath.
maybe that fueled her to think, well, maybe I am.
Because she
And
showed
then she's going
actual-
onto YouTube and researching it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's. If you look on that psychopath or sociopath test or whatever, you'll see elements of yourself on that because
Oh,
we've all got
definitely.
those elements of us in us. It's just those that do every single fucking one.
In some of the interviews, like after the incident, when they're first in custody, they come across a bit like, oh, but they definitely in the court case show, in the trials when they were sentenced as well, show real remorse and emotion.
The
but I've
footage
got-
of her kicking her feet in the
Yeah,
seat.
I've got a
she had
little tiny-
She had all the cuffs on, the manacles,
Oh,
and she
yeah.
was sat in the court, and she's like 13, 14 at this point, and her feet quite are on the floor of the seat,
Yeah, but they're still
she's just
shackled.
and they're shackled, but she's just like kicking her feet like a child would.
I've got a
And he was
little
like-
exchange from the interviews in the original. It's just, this is still from that Guardian, again from that Guardian article, so credit to them. This is Anissa and the detective. When detective questioned Anissa shortly after her arrest, she asked if Morgan had been the one to suggest they become proxies or agents of the Slenderman. Anissa replies, yeah. Detective, and you said what? Anissa, I said, okay, how do we do that? And she said, we have to kill Bella. Detective, okay.
I should point out that Bella was their nickname
Yes,
for
the nickname for the girl who was stabbed,
Peyton Leutner.
Peyton.
Yeah.
Okay, detective, pause. And do you know why she said that? Anissa, because we had to supposedly prove ourselves worthy to Slender. Detective, and what did you think of this? Anissa, I was surprised, but also kind of excited, because I wanted to prove that he existed. So I decided to go along, to tag along, to prove skeptics wrong. Detective, so did you think that you actually had to kill someone to do it? Anissa, yeah. Detective, like, for real? Anissa, mm-hmm. About an hour into the interrogation, the detective asked Anissa, when Morgan said to you, if we don't do this for Slender, our families and loved ones will be killed, did you honestly believe that? Anissa, crying, answered in an astonished kid voice, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
That's it, isn't it? It's
two ill kids really believed it.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
man, the poor.
And
I think.
65 years sentencing.
Wow, yeah.
Well,
let's talk about
I
that.
mean, the society lets these kids down. Yeah.
Mhm. I agree they've been let down. Do you want to
I-
elaborate on that?
Yeah, well, the
because you say
society-
mental health was
Yeah.
undiagnosed.
You know what? When I was at school, I think if we'd have felt that our teachers had been looking out for that, if we had a really introverted kid, you would try and sort of.
How can you
Well,
predict a stabbing though?
No, but you come if you got some like these three girls who are like really below the maturity level for their age,
Yeah,
or
but
the other
look what
kids
the
just
teachers'
like.
pressures on these.
I know.
Got
It's
30
but, I
odd
think
kids in a
but when
classroom.
we were at school,
I
that
think
would
it's
have
on
picked
the
up on. I
father.
think.
I think it's on the
Well,
father
I think
and
it's
mother.
on the society myself. Because the society we live in is obviously fucked up because
That's blaming
so
teachers,
many
by the way.
people are ill and killing themselves. That's not a
Well,
normal
you've got the
society.
opiate epidemic in America, haven't you, at the
Yeah.
minute, where the people are depressed
Yeah.
or in pain, they can't afford painkillers,
It's no measure of health.
or because it's medical insurance.
Because they're addicted.
They take heroin is a cheap opiate substitute for whatever pain, whether it being depression or
It's no measure of health.
or physical pain, and all of a sudden you got
to a profoundly sick society.
yeah.
You know, it's people realising that the society is fucked up.
It is. Well, I do agree. Society. I think they were failed by the fact that nobody spotted their mental health issues and they didn't get any help. But I think a lot of that, I do think it's on that one father. I'm sorry if I know I've got schizophrenia and I've got a daughter, and I don't think. I'd like to think by the age of 12 I'd have already been looking at the signs.
You
so
know
much,
them. You
and
think weird behaviour or
Yeah.
you. This is a trigger. This whole put the Slenderman thing. This is the trigger. This is the.
Yeah.
They've seen the YouTube videos. You know, the 5 top most convincing footage of Slenderman, and there's a Slender sickness, and you got these people like having violent nosebleeds and feeling ill and queasy, and they're watching that, and it's produced. Some of it is almost like professionally produced, not certainly for a YouTube, an average YouTube video. You can tell it. We can tell it's staged, but to a 12-year-old mind, and she's 12, but she's probably
Look
about.
at the fake news that
but
there
she's
are people
probably.
that fall for hook, line and sinker every
Well,
day.
yeah, the Easter egg things.
Yeah.
You know, is
We're
just,
adults are just as prone to it. So
Yeah.
think how a kid,
yeah.
you know.
Hey, you can convince someone to fucking think Arja Farage is fantastic. Slenderman seems fucking like tame in comparison.
And I am quite interested in the. I mean, I don't think to get off the thing. I don't think there's any conspiracy here or any weird goings on or supernatural. I think these two girls were failed by the people around them. A bad circumstance.
And now their lives are fucked.
Yeah, 40. Sorry, we just skipped over it earlier. Mike brought up this.
Hang on, I've got
the one
the
girl
sentences.
sentenced to 25.
I've got the sentences written down. Hold on a second.
I thought it was 65.
Well, one is
No,
40 years.
One's
definitely.
I think it is actually
65 combined.
it's Anissa Veyer, who was the probably the one where it could have gone either way if she wasn't hanging around with Geezer. I think is what it boils down to. If she'd have, I know she was a bit of an outcast, but she'd had some normal people around her.
Well, she's got mental health issues as well.
Yes, but I think that
bad.
I think she was kind of borderline. I think if she
I think
wasn't
the
hanging
other one
around,
has-
I think a better influence on her wouldn't have.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I think the saying is the other one had profound mental health
Yeah.
issues. Do you know what I mean? This one had mental health issues. The other one had profound life changing.
I mean, we all have slight mental issues.
Yeah. Oh, for
You know,
fuck yeah! That's
but-
why we love doing this.
But
Well,
so it was,
therapy.
Vera got 25 years, Anissa Vera, in a mental asylum, and Geezer got the 40 years. They were 14 now, and on the they were when they were sentenced.
What's that going to achieve?
They were tried as
Exactly.
adults. Well, in a mental asylum, you'd argue at least they had treatment because it's a prison.
Plenty of people with schizophrenia that have treatment that
They're
aren't
still-
in mental
well, still
asylums.
There
prisoners.
is, yes, exactly. But these,
One in
Geezer's,
100 apparently.
well, Geezer has obviously got more severe mental. And I imagine she would be more the I don't imagine I thought they'd be Sarah Connor, Terminator style mental asylum security. Would it? It'd surely be in a more more therapeutic
I agree.
environment.
You can't just let them out. I mean, they've committed a serious crime.
Oh, of course, they do it again. That's
And a
whatever.
mental
Whatever
institution-
comes after Slenderman.
Why don't they say you're in a mental institution until doctors can verify that you're well enough to leave?
Well, after the 40 years and 25 years, that was what happened,
Yeah,
wasn't
I
it?
know, but 40 years is it's a life sentence.
Well, she'll be what?
54.
54 when she comes out,
Yeah.
yeah. And the other one will be 40 something. But
I just think it's absolutely mental.
but
Would
they
you
are.
like to hear a little bit from that article about?
They've been tried as adults, haven't they?
Yeah, a little bit of detail on their mental illness. Very rare for someone so young. At a hearing in December 2014, the judge found that Morgan, capable of standing trial, and ordered her back to Winnebago for treatment. But the facility could no longer take her now that she had been deemed, quote, competent. Her parents asked for her $500,000 bail to be reduced to a signature bond so that she could be moved to a group home for girls with mental and emotional issues. But the request was denied because the home was not considered secure enough. By late 2015, Morgan Geezer, who had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, was still not being treated for it.
Wow.
Morgan's hallucinations were grounded in something more specific, her genetic inheritance. Her father, Matt, began his lifelong struggle with schizophrenia at 14 years old. Brackets, he receives government assistance due to his illness. End bracket. In a recent documentary, Beware the Slender Man, the one we've been referencing all
HBO
or show, he talked about his coping mechanisms for living with schizophrenia. He runs numbers in his head and tries to, quote, put up static to block out his visual and auditory hallucinations. Matt and his wife Angie decided early on to delay sharing the fact of Matt's illness with their daughter until she grew older. Why make her fearful of a genetically inherited disease that she might never have to face? Question mark. She had shown no clear warning signs.
No,
I tend to disagree.
Yeah.
In January 2016, after 19 months without treatment, Morgan was finally committed to a state mental hospital and put on an antipsychotic medication. By spring, her
19 months?
Yes.
Wow.
By spring, her attorney claimed that her hallucinations were receding and her condition was improving rapidly. But in May of that year, after 2 years of incarceration, Morgan attempted to cut her arm with a broken pencil and so was placed on suicide watch. Late this September, Morgan accepted a plea bargain, agreeing to be placed in a mental institution indefinitely.
Wow.
Thus avoiding the possibility of prison. Just weeks earlier, Anissa had also accepted a deal, pleading guilty to the lesser charge of attempted second-degree homicide. A jury recommended she be sent to a mental hospital for at least 3 years. So that's
so she could still go to prison then. That would have to be decided.
I think it might go back to.
Wouldn't it? Because after 3 years in the mental, if she was
she's
considered
not
fit
improved,
to stand trial,
then
and
possibly,
then she would be tried and sent to a mainstream prison where you're going to get worked like a slave.
So
for,
again,
you know,
though,
for
there's everyone.
pence an hour and.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
The
Everyone in
prison-
this story is a fucking victim, man. Everyone's been done over in this
And it's
story.
all because, and the guy, Victor Surge, Eric, what was it, Eric Knudsen, you know, he feels terrible.
Yeah, he's done fuck all.
He's done nothing.
man.
He's just
He
tried to
dragged
win a
into
competition.
Yeah.
And it took off.
And created a good character.
And you know, and he's made some money off it, which is fine because at the time, hey, he was. It's the Marilyn Manson Columbine thing.
Couldn't it? She was hallucinating about other things.
It could have been.
Exactly,
It could have been
mentioned
He-Man.
Ninja
It could have been
Turtles.
Transformers. It could have been Ninja. It could have been Lord Voldemort. She might have tried to become
By
a
the way,
proxy of Voldemort. She might have, what they call Death Eaters.
Yeah, well, that
There you
wasn't
go,
a
Harry
joke,
Potter.
listener. To be honest, we weren't joking when we said Ninja Turtles.
No.
And
Voldy.
Voldemort, Voldy. She genuinely had.
And
mentioned
Spock.
being able to communicate. Spock.
She liked
She
Spock
thought she could
because
do the
he was
Vulcan-
emotionless.
The Vulcan thing.
That was, you know, she idolised him because of his lack of emotion, his control over his emotions.
He's almost sort of Jedi like powers.
Well, but it was just the fact that Spock obviously doesn't have any emotion at all, does he? Unless he's snogging a black chick.
The hell did that come from?
Because of the new Star Trek, Spock and Uhura getting it on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought Ben was being weird for a minute. No, it's okay.
Just pointing out, it's just as a mini film review, Phil.
So should we
wrap it up? So we're
Well,
all
think we're all on
very
the same
confident
page
that
on this
the whole Slenderman thing, and if anyone younger is listening, it's a fucking myth.
It's clearly
Right.
It's fake law.
It's fake. It's not real. And please do not think that you're ever going to become any kind of proxy because it ain't going to happen. We all agree it's fake. It's proven it's fake. It's fake news.
Yeah.
It's fake law,
Yeah.
as Mike said.
It's like Paul Bunyan and Pecos Bill.
What the fuck's
Who
Pecos
were
Bill?
Do you know Paul Bunyan out of The Simpsons?
Paul Bunyan was the
Isn't
guy who had
yeah.
the cow.
Yeah, it's these are all fake law.
Oh right, okay.
Examples of it.
Give us some
That was
fake
it. Just
law.
the ones I got down was
Oh, right.
Paul Bunyan and
So Paul
someone
Bunyan
called-
didn't chop down mountains. Oh man!
someone called Pecos Bill.
Can I give you a little bit?
Why didn't you see Pecos Bill investigate? I investigated the Mattoon,
I know.
the Mad Gasser of Mattoon.
Well,
I just wanted to keep it a mystery because
But no, you're not.
the
Oh.
truth will never
Can
be
I
as
give
good
you-
as my imagination.
No, ain't that the truth? Can I give you boys a little bit on? Because I think we're pretty much on the
They
same
were
page.
let
Toilet
down.
break.
They were let down.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in conclusion, I think we're all in agreement that basically these girls were certainly let down by people around them, and this Slenderman stuff didn't help. I mean, Victor Surge, bless him, Eric Knudsen said, he's very sympathetic of it, and he's done nothing wrong. It's like the Marilyn Manson Columbine thing.
He created a character, mate.
He created a character. It's taken off. Hopefully, he's made a few quid out of it.
Well, he owns
Sadly,
the copyright, so-
these girls believed it was real and committed a horrible crime. Let down by the people around them, really.
I'd agree, so yeah, and I don't think we can.
Can't blame Slendy for all of this, really. It's just.
There's nothing to the
But
Slendy thing.
what's interesting is we created our own mythology out of just something that came from 2 photographs.
And it's
Literally 2 photographs have spawned
an entire
an
mythology.
entire mythology.
Well,
A community as well. There's
Isn't
a
that where all
community.
mythology came from? One person?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
this
I've
is-
seen a Cyclops!
like we said earlier, it's kind of the first sort of digital, or one of the first, or maybe not even, it's not about being first, it's a good example of a modern digital folklore of this.
Yeah.
But I wanted to give you boys, because part of my research, so I was quite surprised in that documentary we referenced all the way through tonight, called, again, Beware the Slenderman, credit to HBO. I was quite surprised when Richard Dawkins popped up.
Yeah, so was I actually. I was just.
And then I didn't realise.
I do enjoy his religion bashing.
Yes, the what would you call him, Richard? Is he
An evolutionary biologist.
right? There you go.
I have a few of his books. He's they're the God Delusion's worth a read. If you
I
can,
tried to listen to it on audiobook, but it's about 20 hours long.
Yeah,
And I
it took
did
me.
listen
It
to
took,
a
it
bit
took me
of it.
about 4 weeks to read it. So yeah, it was.
Took me about 4 months.
Yeah, I think you've still got it.
I have actually.
Yeah,
I've read it actually. You can take it back.
Oh, fantastic! I mean,
So I'll give it. So because a meme's a very modern thing we think of, don't we? And I remember the early days when people
Yeah.
called them memes and didn't know how to say
someone
it.
at work still does. They call them memes.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, we know what we mean when we say a meme, don't we?
Yeah.
A picture with text on it that spreads, that you share.
Yeah. Oh, gifts are creeping in now as well.
Yeah, well, that's an animated version, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially. So, and I apologise, I've been doing a lot of reading this episode and my voice has got very dry and robotic. I'm trying to...
Robotic. Do I need to get blunty stabby?
Hey, I identify as a transformer and there's nothing you can do about it.
There is a blunty stabby spatcher over here.
Ravage, eject. Oh.
No,
I'm poking my chest really hard. There's no robo-dogs appearing.
You're practically performing CPR on yourself at that point.
Okay, a meme. A meme is an idea, a behaviour, or a style that spreads from person to person within a culture, often with the aim of conveying a particular phenomenon, theme, or meaning represented by the meme. A meme acts as a unit for carrying cultural ideas, symbols, or practices that can be transmitted from one mind to another through writing, speech, gestures, rituals, or other imitable, how would you say that?
Imitable? You're copying what they're doing. There you go.
Phenomena with a mimicked theme. Supporters of the concept regard memes as cultural analogues to genes, in that they self-replicate, mutate, and respond to selective pressures.
Yeah, so a good example of that is that most interested man in the world. I don't usually do this, but when I do it.
Yes, you add your
whatever.
own spin to it and share it on.
Yeah, Bob as well.
Oh
Be
yeah,
like Bob.
Yeah, be like Bob. Don't be a dickhead and don't vote Tory.
Be more like, I fucking hate
And
people who
don't
post
vote
them.
Tory.
Like, fuck Bob, the judgy little prick. The etymology of a meme
Etymology.
is quite interesting. The word meme is a shortening modelled on gene of mimemi from ancient Greek,
The Greeks cropping up again.
which translates to an imitated thing, or to imitate. Coined by the British biologist Richard Dawkins in the book The Selfish Gene,
I've read that book.
1976, as a concept for discussion of evolutionary principles in expanding the spread of ideas and cultural phenomena. Example of memes given in the book included melodies, catchphrases, fashion and technology of building arches.
And the Bible.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yep.
Any religious text.
Have you ever seen the meme of Dawkins and that creationist desire? Creationist. No, sorry, it's the creationist. And she says we've got no evidence of evolution. He's like, well, go and look in the museum. We've got the fossil record. And she's like, no, That's not evidence. You're not showing me any evidence. And his face at the end of the meme, obviously just one of like utter shock and disbelief, and it's quite amusing. I'm sure you've seen it.
What would you like an example of a 1940s meme?
Is it like?
It's quite small, but can you see the picture there? It's a crude graffiti drawing of a big-nosed man peering over a wall.
yeah. What
And
no
it says,
sausages or something?
Kilroy was here.
Yeah.
Now apparently this was it was a graffiti that became popular in the 40s, and it existed under various different names. So instead of Kilroy, the name changed, and it just randomly started appearing in countries all over Europe without explanation.
Well,
And
the
to this
Second
day-
World War was on too.
Well, it's just a funny bit of.
Yeah.
It's a joke that spread. It's a meme.
It started off actually
A graffiti meme.
on a wall, and it said "What no sausages," I think, and that was a response to rationing.
I just say it's fascinating early. So
Yeah.
Slenderman has spread in that way, and
And that's a terrifying thing that this shit spreads, doesn't it?
it
It's
was-
like keep calm and carry on.
yeah, that's a
Look at
good
that fucking
meme.
spread. Yeah. What if that was like stab your mate 17 times,
19.
19 times?
Oh, and
Keep
we missed
calm.
out. That reminds me, we missed out a factoid.
Of course,
earlier. They
she-
missed her heart by was it literally 2
Yeah.
millimeters? Her heart was missed by. She was 2 millimeters away from death. The
Yeah.
victim, Bella, bless her.
And
And
it
she's
should
fine
be-
now. We should say
No,
she's thriving and living a perfectly
She is,
normal
but she
life.
still apparently does sleep with a pair of scissors under her bed
Well-
in case of.
You can't really blame her.
happens,
but-
yeah.
No.
But that might not be true. No, that was an article I read that she did have a bit of PTSD.
She is a
about it.
strong little lady.
Too right.
whatever.
Too
And,
right. She's
more
14.
power
She's been
to
stabbed
her.
19 times.
Good health.
More
Good
power,
health
yeah.
to her.
Raise a drink. We've all got
Yep.
a drink. Raise one
Yep.
to her. More power to
To
her.
Bella.
Um,
To Peyton Lutner.
yeah.
Right
so
now.
Good on her. She dragged herself. Good on you, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, she showed some grit and just
Too right.
will to live.
She's no snowflake, certainly.
No, definitely not. So good on her. And I know she's always going to suffer mentally, probably. But from what I've read online, she's living a quote unquote normal life, and thriving was the adjective that I saw.
Good.
So.
She's probably
Good
never
on-
going to go into a public toilet again, though.
No.
Well, none of us do,
She
mate.
might have a lot of
Well,
trust
some of you
issues. Some of us are banned.
Moving
on.
Who's shooting up in toilets again, Gaz?
Moving on. Hey, we established this last episode. I do not use needles. I never have,
I was just a crap
and I
pipe.
never will. One time that was spaced out over an entire evening, but so it was more like several hundred times in one night. But hey, anyway, moving swiftly
Right.
on. I think
So,
that's
Mike,
Slender Man.
That's Slender Man, and we have one more thing for you.
We've got another
Yikes.
feature. Because that's been a pretty heavy one, so it's nice to end on a happy note and a bit of comedy.
Exactly.
So, Science Officer Mike's bringing the funny.
Allegedly.
Nah.
I'm joking. It's just the catchphrase of the show.
And we have a new
It's
feature.
called Full Alex.
Oh.
Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, you never go full Alex.
You certainly
Jones.
don't.
I've done it a couple of times since we started the show and had a few bad weeks where I've had to be calmed down by loved ones.
And on the train.
Oh, well, yeah, alright, that was different. I had 19 pints in me. Not 19 stab wounds. Hey!
Ooh.
Sorry. Do we want some context, or are we going to
Yeah.
cut that bit?
No, I'll cut that bit. It started without me expecting it.
And you want your jingle, don't you?
It's like
I
your
do.
love like Mike thing. You start
It's
with
always over before it begins.
you start without them expecting you.
Don't say anything too funny, we've got to cut this bit. I like your t-shirt, by the way, Ben.
Oh, thank you. That was from Tesco.
What?
Guns N' Roses
Bastards.
t-shirt from Tesco.
Get in.
Yeah, £4. Oh, that's Duck Dynasty guy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay,
I
right.
hate that cunt.
So,
So we have a jingle.
give us a jingle, mate.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
So, it's...
Hey, who?
Do you want to explain your
Cypress
feature,
Hill?
Mike?
Did you order the London Philharmonic?
Before we get
London
into
Philharmonic Orchestra? Possibly while high.
Maybe.
Cypress Hill, I'm looking in your direction.
Would you like to explain your new feature, Mike?
Yeah. Basically, each week I'm going to play you a clip of somebody and a clip of Alex Jones. And we're going to find out if anyone is close to being batshit crazy like Alex Jones, basically.
So who's the worst?
Yeah, apart from
The
Gaz.
guest of the week or Alex Jones?
Mm.
So who are we having first, Mike?
The guest of the week.
Okay.
Is Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty or Dynasty?
Yeah, he suggests listening to Beyonce will lead to STDs.
Just before you press play, Mike, where's the sound actually coming from physically?
Speakers behind
The laptop.
them ones there. Can you see it?
Okay.
Okay, let's listen to what he has to say.
What's that was named? Beyonce. And you wonder why 110 million of us have a sexually transmitted disease at any given time. So, according to God, the Center for Disease Control, and me, don't listen to that chick. Into the microbe world.
What the fuck?
Path you don't want to go down. What path is that? Path of the microbe world.
What the fuck?
He's smoking a joint. But the point is, he is a fucking guy that made duck calls.
He's saying the microbes are coming.
They'll rot your genitals off.
What kind of microbes?
Well, I don't know, guys, but they'll rot your genitals off, mate. Fucking hell.
That was the guy from Duck
No,
Dynasty.
this is a guy that made a living
guy from
and
the
made a
Dynasty.
lot of money for the family. I've watched his show once and thought they were just fucking pricks. There's no other word for it. They made...
I know you're eager to make your point, but can you wait till the video's finished?
Sorry. Mike, if you're going to show...
Mike's the quiz master.
Mike,
you don't know.
I know...
I know it infuriates you.
Yeah.
I can see your blood boiling, man.
I've got the urge to kill Rise.
Wait
that's
till
fair
you
to
see
say.
Alex's video.
Oh,
Wait till
but he's made a
Okay.
living of making little plastic fucking whistles that
Take
make duck
control, Rev.
noises.
Get in there,
They make
Rev.
duck noises.
Get in there,
He's
Rev.
got no right to any fucking opinion on the media at all. He makes fucking duck whistles.
But that's not the parameters of the game. We've got to decide is he more batshit crazy than Alex.
All right,
and
sorry.
in order to do
Well, the
that,
answer is yes.
we need to hear Alex's rant.
All right, well, let's listen to Alex.
Hit it, Mike.
Before I start, can I ask, is he in the reggae box?
Him, his entire family.
What is in the reggae box,
They don't
man?
make. They don't make the reggae box. They're getting fucking guillotined, mate.
Oh, man. How many cans you had to do this episode?
Yeah, about 6, 7. Getting feisty.
Play us Alex's. What's Alex saying? Bless him, my old mucker.
This is about Brian Stelter.
Who's he?
He is a host on CNN,
Okay.
Oh my, yeah. Oh, sweet
and he
Satan.
goes on a rant about him.
Yes, he does. Is this,
He will.
is this
Have
2
his
minutes
rant.
10? Or have I got to listen to 2 minutes 10 of this? So can we
Yeah.
just cut off through like.
No,
part
we
of
have
it?
to watch the whole thing.
I don't know if I can
Yes,
do 2 minutes.
you could do 2
I
minutes of
can't
Alex.
do 2 minutes
He's
of Alex.
worth it.
I can't. I can't do it.
He's worth it every minute.
He's not L'Oreal,
If
Gaz.
we can get it bloody...
Yeah, I'm gonna go in.
So said your wife,
Oh,
Mrs.
Mike,
Girlfriend.
what you
Can't get it going.
dreams of falling before your eyes? No, it's fine. It's gonna play.
It will play.
It's gonna play. I just headbutt the... I'm doing technical sound things, moving mics and stuff. That's why I've got all quiet.
I don't know, but that guy's smiling face is starting to piss me off.
For the listener at home, the screen is frozen on the face. of
Brian
this-
Stella's
What's his
starting to
name?
piss me off.
He has got a really
Brian
smackable
Stout. Yeah, I could. If I saw him in
Oh,
the
here we
pub-
go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, hell on earth. He wants to run your life. He wants to control every aspect of your life because he knows he is a cowardly, degenerate sack of anti-human trash. I pledge before my Heavenly Father that I will resist them every way I can. These people are the literal demon spawn of the pit of hell. Look at him. And you know what? He is better than you if you keep letting him run your life. He runs your kids. He runs the schools. He runs the banks. This guy, this spirit, this smiling, leering devil that thinks you can't see what he is. He is your enemy. Period. All the narcissistic, devil-worshipping filth. I see you, enemy. I see you, enemy. 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 You are my enemy.
Is he gonna give it a
Swear
bit?
total resistance to you and everything I've got.
Whoa.
Disingenuous, fake, false, broke back, twisted, a defiler of the triumph. Stabber!
Toilet.
That was my nickname in college.
You will his face? Yeah, you think
I can't think it's. I'm looking at Faith and agree with Alex.
I see you. You understand me?
No,
I
no,
know
no.
what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that, Delta?
Whoa.
What the? Will fall. You will not bring humanity down. God is going to destroy you.
Who's listening to that on the drive time commute?
Millions of people, that's the scary thing.
Is he crying?
People, just please.
No, that was so... Oh, okay.
Alright. Who's got more full Alex there? I think Alex. Alex has got more full Alex, hasn't he?
No, let's discuss this sensibly. So the name of the game show is Who's More Batshit Crazy?
Yeah.
That's
Now,
Alex.
No, he sounded, but we're going to look at what they were actually saying. Alex was making a valid point. He was just making it in a very aggressively mental way. But what he was saying was that politician is a fucked up fucking weasel bastard.
He's
Like,
not
we know that.
In all
He's not a
fairness.
politician.
Oh, what is he?
He's just a presenter on a news program.
Oh, well, he's a fuckhead, isn't he?
In all
He's a
fairness.
corporate tool.
And Alex was
Yeah.
very, very upset by his existence. I see you. I see you.
Enemy!
That was like the best
Enemy!
WWE program
It
I've ever
was.
seen.
Yeah.
I will shut you down.
Get Alex Jones in the
But-
WWE as a wrestler.
Yeah, that would be
He
amazing.
would. Oh, you know
He'd
what?
kick the fuck out the cruiserweights, definitely.
I'd
Just-
watch that.
I want to fight Alan Carr.
You sick fuck. Alex will win, definitely. Poor Alan Carr. Oh,
I will
but-
issue my challenge again to Alex
But
Jones.
wait.
I will meet you in Dawley Town Hall in a boxing ring, and I will
careful.
smack the shit out of you, pal.
So wait, back to the game show. But my point is, Duckman, he was chatting some mental shit about microbes.
And-
You're gonna catch Beyonce's microbes, Ben, through the sex
STD.
video.
Yeah, alright.
Microbes? What's he on about? Microbes? There's more microbes fucking being projected from his fucking dirty big beard.
Yeah, they
than
hasn't
there
washed
is
in a decade.
Fuck
He
me.
does say listening to Beyonce will give you STDs.
Alright, yeah. Okay.
So I don't know what.
I see your point, guys.
My
I
vote,
see your
I
point.
think the Duckman is more mental.
But Alex makes me more. No, actually, no.
You can vote however you want,
Duckman
man.
makes me alright because I know he's a prick.
If it's a draw, I'll do the deciding vote.
Alright then, Mike.
I will. You know what? I go.
Should we have a
I go for
drum roll?
Duckman. I do go for Duckman.
Oh, that's two. Duckman's
Oh, he's doing it, wasn't it then?
Yeah.
Duckman's the man. Well,
Because he is literally saying that listen to Beyonce albums gives
Will
you my
give you fucking
which
AIDS.
gives the CDs or the MP3s or whatever you're listening, whatever format you're listening to it, releases microbes that give you crotch rot.
Do you want another
yeah,
one?
and Alex
Yeah.
is just saying that the presenter is CNN.
He's got an
He's a bit
annoying
of a cunt.
face. He's got an annoying face. He has got an annoying face. It's true.
Oh, there's another round,
I
Mike.
can give you another one if you want.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
go
yeah.
on, one more.
One more round. I like this game.
If this is that evangelical Christian guy, that Pat, what's his face?
So who's first? So do you want to tell me who this guy is?
This
Mike?
guy is someone called Paul McGuire.
Yeah.
Okay,
not sure
never
who
heard
he
of him,
is.
but tell me, is he a religious person?
This
He
is
looks it.
on RWW News,
Yeah.
Mike, which is
What's that?
Right Wing Watch.
right. Right wing watch.
It's where,
Is
all
your
these,
skin crawling at the moment, Mike?
it's where all these videos are from.
Oh, all from the same site.
Well,
I
how do you get-
subscribe on YouTube and I get them. And
Right, wait.
I mean-
No, I'm laughing because it's just amazing that
Yeah.
this range of lunacy is all found on the same fucking site.
So we got
Oh,
Paul McGuire.
He says that President Hillary Clinton would have killed America's pastors.
Oh,
okay. All of it.
well, I've never really been behind Hillary before. But kind of feeling it now.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of you bending Hillary over. Sorry, I
Hey,
shouldn't.
have you ever seen the photo of her and Bill in college?
No.
Oh, it's not pornographic anymore.
Well, I don't want to see it then.
but she's a fucking fox. When she was
Ah,
16.
no.
She was
No.
18. Hillary was a fox.
No.
I'd have banged Hillary. I'd have tried to bang Hillary if I was in
I'd
college.
bang her now because she's got a working vagina. Hey, cut this bit out. I'm a married man now, aren't I? So, but, well.
Yeah, you're going home
That's
to your
good.
girlfriend.
You're alright, boy. Leave me alone. That's such male behaviour. You're mocking me for having a home with a girlfriend in it to go to.
Yes,
You should
yes,
be
I am.
supporting me.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Yes, I am. I am mocking you openly.
Play the video, Mike.
We've gone from depressed. I'm so lonely.
Yeah, when we started this podcast, I wanted to die.
I'm so lonely. I'm doing sex magic. I'm going home to my girlfriend and my children. You said the other week.
You should be happy. I was a fucking slip of the tongue. You should be happy for me.
I am happy for you, but I'm just. It's full circle.
Don't mock me.
It's the circle of life.
Arsene Wenger.
He didn't do well in the football today, did he, Arsene Wenger?
Well, that's a game the listener can play. Listen from episode 1 and you can track the peaks and troughs of my mental health. And at the moment we're in a peak, so please don't mock my peak unless you want to see me in a serious trough.
You're gonna.
I'd never mock your peak, Gaz. It's not cricket.
It's not cricket.
I love this podcast.
Yeah.
Even if
It always
mock
comes
me
back to knob
mercilessly.
jokes in the end.
It's got to.
And you might stab me 19 times.
No, I'll never get that far.
With his pork saw.
Behave yourself. Play the fucking clip, Mike.
Alright.
It's time to round 2 of who's more
Round
mental,
two.
Alex Jones or the other bloke.
Just because you've got an interdimensional penis, Mike. You don't get the courtesy of a reach
My
around.
arse is strictly one dimension only and it's not entry. Right, that was a shit joke. Play the tape.
Let's go.
Where would we be today, February 2018, if Hillary Clinton had won the election?
Well, speaking of witches, I don't know if this is a fact or not, but I've read many accounts which suggest that she is a practicing witch.
What's that box behind him?
Highest levels. I think she has a demonic hatred in her. She's issued her statement about the deplorables, revealed what was in her heart. I believe that if Hillary Clinton had become president of the United States, like Jezebel, she would have persecuted, arrested, fined, imprisoned, and perhaps killed America's pastors. She would have shut down the preaching of the gospel, and the gates of hell would have broken loose.
First of all,
Literally the gates of hell.
First of all, Gaz, would you like to address the elephant in the room in that video? The painting behind him.
He had a poster that said Trump Apocalypse and showed the White House. It wasn't that
It was
the
like a
picture
mushroom
from,
cloud behind the White
Wasn't
House.
that the cover of Independence Day?
It was close. Missing the alien spaceship. Oh, actually, no. In
Trump
that photo,
Apocalypse.
no. I see. There's literally some kind of nuclear weapon detonating behind the White House, and the words "Trumpocalypse" emblazoned across it.
Wow.
It is.
Yeah, but
So I'm confused
but
though
it's
because he's
not-
anti-Hillary.
No, it's not a nuclear weapon.
All right.
It's the
Oh, it's the
slight
rapture.
of God. Yeah, it's a
It's
rapture.
the rapture. Oh, we mentioned it before.
Yeah,
Sweet Mary and
That's
Joseph.
It's the rapture.
it's not a nuclear explosion.
And that
no.
thing, that box next to him, listener, there is a very creepy wooden box sat next to him for no reason.
It contains the souls
It does.
of his victims.
It contains the souls of who he fed the flavour aid to.
Well, he thinks that the
Hillary
gates
would
of hell would have opened
the
up.
gates of hell would have opened. We'd have been assailed by demons, and Hillary would have been some kind of greater demon. And oh, give us Alex. Go on.
What's Alex saying? Hang on, we'll just do some mic tech stuff. Woo! Sorry, I'm getting quieter. I'm sure it doesn't bother you.
No, of course not.
Shut up! I've had enough insults for one evening.
But I like insults.
I know. I like my girlfriend, Ben. Don't mock me.
It's incredible how domesticated you become so
Shut
quickly.
up.
I bet you do the washing up, don't you?
Shut up!
Are you like Freddie Mercury in the Queen video trying to break through? Nowadays.
Yeah, but less macho.
You haven't got a good moustache. I'll give you that.
No, I haven't. Right, Alex, play.
Okay.
You play that, Alex. Last week you accused me of dying, Mike. This week I've been accused of being a domestic homo gay.
Effectively a gimp pilot. Now I think you sleep in a cage with a leather hood.
I wish.
Gosh, Gaz. You wish you slept in a cage with a leather hood.
Moving on. Alex.
I thought you slept in a big beautiful bed with your girlfriend.
I love the title of this video. Alex Jones, quote, I was told by a genetic engineer, ...
I misread that and thought it was a GD engineer.
I grant you 3 wishes.
Right, come on.
I was told by a genetic engineer about a project they were on in England once, and I never told the story on air because it's so fantastical. Oh, God.
That's not...
They had in tanks people with gills, and they were little babies, and they were in there just gulping, clawing at the sides. You see a turtle at the zoo, and it wants out, you feel for it. They got humanoids crossed with fish and stuff. I mean, we're screwed, people. You understand that?
We're screwed,
And I
people.
know I keep obsessing because it's in the news what they're doing now. They don't show it to you. They just go, yeah, gestating on farms are embryos of humans growing in animals. No, it's beyond that. They take them out. They keep them alive. And notice they go, the only law is you don't put it in a real human woman. And don't worry, these creatures don't have any rights because they're not human and they're not animal. They're in that phantom zone. They're in that 5th dimension of the Twilight Zone. And they're just opening the gates of hell.
It's always the gates of hell.
Here and go along with all the pomps and the stupid Hollywood people and everyone preening and driving their $200,000 cars and getting off on being on TV. I don't even hardly watch when I'm on television. I hate it. I hate this whole culture. I hate the whole thing. It means nothing to me.
Whoa.
It's all fake. It's all a facade. And behind it are mad scientists in the Hall of the Mountain King just doing God knows what. Super weapons. Antimatter bombs. Black holes. Huge cyclotrons.
What's a
Splicing
cyclotron?
every plant and animal on the known
I know
face
what
of the
that
earth
is.
and is the most satanic rituals you can imagine. Those are satanic rituals. Detonating hundreds of
As he's
high-powered
doing the
hydrogen bombs
666.
in the 1960s
He's doing
in
it
the
on
upper
purpose,
atmosphere to see if they could detonate the Earth's atmosphere and blow holes in the Van Allen radiation belt is so satanic. Splicing little babies with fish is satanic. Putting prions and all this garbage in our food is satanic. You think real Satanists go and just sit there and have sex with some hot chick on a black altar?
Yes, we do!
Hell, Satan!
This is about murdering this planet.
And you were laughing at my sex magic earlier. It worked for me.
In this system, you
I
have
love you,
no
Mr. Crowley.
idea what Lucifer's got in store with you. You scum.
Whoa.
No.
You're gonna be torn limb from limb slowly. You're gonna beg. Your deaths are gonna be slow. Know that, scum.
Wow.
Well, Alex is the winner. I didn't think he was going to, but the end stole it.
Humanoids in their tanks.
Still going?
Scrabbling at the side with human horror in their eyes.
Wow.
So, alright.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can we have a pee break before I decide who's the most mentor?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Because this is an important decision.
Okay, we're back on.
So, as I was saying, what we've got to look past in this game, and I know, sorry, Matt, I know you invented it. I'm not stepping on your toes. It's not just who.
It's like
talks
Slenderman,
the
it
most.
evolves.
Yeah, there you go. It's
like
not
tentacles.
just who talks the craziest and sounds the craziest, because that's going to be Alex every time, because he's so theatrical.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
over the top, he is a top grade actor. He's a very good actor and performer.
He's Bill Hicks, that's why.
Oh. But we've got to look at what they're saying. Who is saying the most batshit crazy things? So it is someone who thinks
Paul Maguire
that Hillary, if she won, was going to round up all the pastors in America and
imagine
execute
that?
them. Yeah, just
outside
round them up.
churches, you know, just run round this fucking death squad. Crack the priest in the back of the head.
You know what? I'd volunteer for that.
I was about to say.
They just get in the van and
I know a man who'd be up for that.
I'm quite happy with the guy that organises that. I'd be like Himmler. Oh man, I don't want the armband.
So is that more crazy then to genuinely believe that Hillary would have been capable of that legally, whatever, and then Alex, on the other hand, was saying that?
You forgot they opening the gates of hell.
Oh yeah, sorry, the gate, literally.
Demons going to rape your souls.
So Donald, he's got access to the red button that launches the nukes, but Hillary, according to this geezer, he had the red button that leads to the gates of hell! Not that one, Hillary!
No, don't ask the nuke.
Oh, what have you done? Oh, you've only got it opened up the gates of bloody hell. That David Icke's going to be insufferable now on Twitter.
Oh, there's a demon raping my soul as we speak.
More insane? Is that more insane than Alex Jones's assertion that he has it on good information from a quote-unquote geneticist that somewhere in England, and he was upset that they're splicing fish with humans. What's more batshit crazy? We've got to vote. We've got to, and I'm going to say, I'm afraid I'm going to have to go for Alex. I think Alex is talking more crazy.
No, I'm going Paul Maguire.
Really? Okay.
Because it just what he said is your Trump voting right wing Christian.
You're saying that the gates of hell opening up is more likely than man being spliced with fish, or it's more unlikely?
Yes.
So a man spliced with fish.
It's because of the ramifications of him saying that. Because so many fucking people will go there and go, oh well, you know what? If we vote for Hillary, gates of hell will open, you know.
Okay, well.
And they went for the orange.
In fairness,
they went for the gerbil-haired orange monster, didn't they?
Alex did say also that the mad scientists are trying to open up the gates of hell.
Oh.
Didn't he?
But that doesn't affect my vote. I'm afraid Alex has gone more mental.
I want to see Abe Sapien. I want to see a group of people that can swim underwater.
So hang on there.
Why can't we have a group of pig men called, like in Archer, the mad scientist Krieger's got Piggly Jr.
I'm lost. But listen.
Oh.
Look, we've got, so the game is, it's a draw. You're saying
I'm going with Paul Maguire.
I'm saying Alex is more mental on this one. Mike, you've got the deciding vote.
Right. Well, to even it up, I'm going to go with Alex.
Oh, it's a score draw.
That's 2-0.
That's a score draw. No, it's a score draw.
Alright, well.
Alex won the last round. He was the least mental.
Good point, actually, yeah.
I think we can all agree they're both fucking mental.
Yeah.
It's just who's the most mental. So, I personally, I want to say, Mike, I loved that feature. Thank you for putting the time in to find the clips, because I loved that. And I think, should we wrap this bad boy up? Because that's been, I think, a hell of an episode.
Yep. So, thanks for listening. And I've been Ben, and I'm going to say, don't drink the Flavourade and stay classy.
I've been Gaz. If you have been, thanks for listening. Free Biff Tannen. See you next week.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out.